The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed by this podcast as well as its hosts are for entertainment purposes only. I repeat, it is not serious. It is not real. No one is exposing, revealing, indicting, or telling you anything about themselves. Also, we do not encourage you to try this at home. We are trained professionals who do not have your best interest at heart, or our own. Enjoy the show.
All right, Patronies, we have a very special guest, but that's not the part that's pressing on my heartstrings right now. Mel is attempting to produce the broadcast and turn it into hot and bothered.
No, not at all.
She also attempted to embarrass me in front of the guest that I adore.
How did I do that?
I absolutely adore
We
guest.
both do.
And she said, do you have a song queued up? No, I don't have a song queued up.
I mean,
How about that?
Okay, I was just gonna say, there is the one song that you could have queued up.
One song.
She has a catalog. She has a catalog.
All right.
But we were just having a conversation where Flip said that he was like a baby when her career started.
Don't call my name, I'm not here.
Yeah, you are.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the fucking artist that brought you. This song is up there with Will Smith's Summertime to me in terms of classic, weather-breaking, we about to fucking run game on some girls
Summer dress
and
time.
beat them down.
You know it.
In the summertime.
Summer dress
What?
season.
It's spin season.
Oh my Lord, spin cycle. Yo, we have one of my favorite people, and this is no gas.
And mine too.
Ladies and gentlemen, Amerie is in the building. Amerie is in the building. Hold up now. Hold up. This was outside. Stop playing. We kick Flip out because he wasn't outside back then. We don't want to hear from niggas that wasn't there. Amerie is here, nigga. You
think I was outside as a kid?
No, that's not what
that's not outside.
I was like crying because you're so hilarious, but also because you're really kind and generous, and that as an artist that makes me feel really good, and I do appreciate that.
Well,
I was feeling my flowers.
Thank you. You should receive all the flowers in the world. Some of the best moments of my life.
Indeed.
Yeah.
To this
Bagging the
song
fatherless woman.
right here. Why so short, this song?
It just was. I mean, it just came out like that, honestly. And it's funny because then we were like, well, it's kind of like an interlude kind of thing. But, oh, by the way, side note, I don't know where to look. I don't know if I'm supposed to look at a camera.
You can look
or
at us.
into
I
I don't just space a lot, so I'll be doing that.
Anywhere you
Okay.
want.
Yeah.
We got you
That's
covered.
your camera, by the way, though.
Oh,
if you want to
which
say
one?
that one up
That
there. So if
one?
you want to do an ISO to the audience,
The top
that's
one?
the
Or
one.
the bottom?
I'm sorry. This is what happens. when I take the
Anywhere you
bottom
want to
off.
look. You're fine.
Okay, so I'll be like this. Is it the tallest one?
The tallest one.
Yes.
So yeah, it was just short like that, and then it's funny because now all songs are short, but at the time it felt, really.
Got a lot of replay value though.
In hindsight,
it
you
did.
kind of pioneered that whole 2-minute
I'll take
song
that. You know
thing.
what? I invented that. I'll take it.
Yeah, take that shit.
Yeah,
did.
it's yours.
I did.
Was never a remix to this song.
There were lots of. Well, we had a Richcraft remix too. There's a whole different
There
track.
was.
It was beautiful. It was like da na na na.
He trying to tell
Yeah.
niggas about
Please,
Okay.
trying to tell niggas about the version you did.
Yeah. You tried to get on that one.
Please, sir. Please,
No, this is not
Some
the song.
spare
This is not the
change.
song. This is not the song.
Spare some
Actually, I should have hopped on this beat in the mixtape era. Every rapper in the world should have hopped on this beat.
They did. I think there
did.
was like so many remixes.
Not all the real ones.
So many.
But did y'all
It's a fab
do?
one?
He basically said the real
It's a fab one.
rappers,
For sure got
right?
fab.
That's what you
I know
were
it's a
saying?
fab one somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, the fab version of this.
I'm sure.
For sure.
And Fab did one-to-one thing too, which I really like.
Yeah, consistent.
Yeah.
One thing.
Yeah, Fab wouldn't get out the way back in the day. Hop on all the fucking song. Move it, buddy. Move it, Jacko.
But in that third story.
Can we talk to Amerie, please, and not just shoot a joke? Did you know what this song was when you created? When did you know what it was?
Why Don't We Fall in Love?
Yes. Why don't we fall in love?
You know when we did it, like that was the one I wanted to be my introduction because at the time it was Talking to Me, actually they wanted to shoot a video for that first,
love
and we
Talking to Me.
did, and I really love it too, but not more than Why Don't We Fall in Love. And I was like, no one really knows me. I feel like that record is like, if someone's like, well, who is this artist, that's the record they should be. And I didn't want a picture with it. I actually didn't want to send out any images from my music. I wanted it to just be plain, and we did end up doing that, but then they did end up taking some pictures that didn't even look like me anyway. But I was like, I just want them to have the music, and that's it. But and to that,
I think they got it right though.
but well, they didn't put out anything.
They didn't put out the Talking With Me record first.
They did, but then we kind of like
Pulled
pulled
it
it
back.
back,
Pulled it
pulled it
back. I
back
was gonna say that
because it
was
was
first.
like Why Don't We Fall in Love should be first, and we were right. And then that went, and then we did Talking to Me after that. Yeah, because it was just like but everyone thinks of it as summertime, but in my mind, it was always dark. So when I was on the phone with Benny Boom and we were like talking about the video concept, I was like, I see dark, wet streets, and it's black and red. Everything's black, but see, my visuals are like,
Oh, you're one of those artists.
yes.
Got
I
it.
actually don't like any visual. Well, now I do, but for a long time I didn't. I was like, I don't want any visuals because when I see a visual to a song, it messes it up for me. I just need it to be in colors, and that's it. I don't even want to.
So do you feel like the
Any
song
videos.
became like a summertime anthem because of the way the video was directed?
I do think
And that was
and
like-
it
wasn't
said
that like-
First Day of Summer on it.
Yeah, wasn't that like
So it's
Benny's
like-
first gig as a director?
Oh, he's gonna be mad at you. He's like, that was not my first. No, it
No,
wasn't
not
his
you,
first.
him.
I don't think
No.
so. I
don't
think he
think
was
so.
he was doing a lot at that time.
Okay.
He was doing a lot, and they were really like vibrant and colorful.
Mm-hmm.
And then he did put First Day of Summer on there, which I guess goes to show you, like, it's a little bit about suggestion, the power of suggestion,
Yeah.
right? And it was perfect. I was like, I'm glad y'all didn't listen to me. I don't know what I was talking about, because in my mind, for me, Why Don't We Fall in Love, I was thinking about it as an artist, like. All the energy in the song was like, this is my introduction to the world. This is the thing. I had a little red eclipse. I was like, it's just me on the street. I'm just driving it. And it's like, okay, things about to change. So for me, it was more of what was soundtracking my life. But it made sense for it to be right for the record. Because it is a summertime record. It is a summertime vibe.
Now, how did you get your record deal?
I got my record deal. Well, I was working with Rich. And Rich already had some people that was... Oh, sorry. I was working with Rich, and Rich had some people that were already watching him already. So they were like, okay, we really like this producer. He's doing some stuff, but we'll just keep our eye on him for a couple of years. And then I met Rich through...
Come on, Rich
like-
Harrison, right?
Yes, Rich
Yeah.
Harrison.
The one and only.
Yes, the one and only. Super, super talented. He's amazing, but, that goes without saying. And then because of that, once we got together... they were like, oh, okay, you're ready. And so they already had like their connect at Sony, at Columbia. And so it kind of happened really fast. I mean, I've been trying to get a deal like all through college, but it didn't happen until like the last semester. And I knew it was going to happen. I felt it. They were like, are you going to are you going to make a resume? I was like, nope. They're like, you going to any job fairs? I was like, nope. They're like, what are you going to do? I was like, I'm going to get a record deal. They're
Which
like, "You
sounds
sure?"
absolutely
And
crazy.
where'd you go to undergrad?
At the time.
I went to Georgetown in D.C.
And so you went to Georgetown. What was your major?
English. I went in as a computer science major because, of course, computers are the future, right? But I was like there were so many projects, and I remember there was one project where I knew I had to change my major. It was like you have to make a snowman move. Everyone else could figure it out. Their snowman was like bouncing. Mine was just like sitting there. I was like, I don't think this is for me. So I switched.
Snowman was
I was
goofy,
like,
stiff.
let me just go to English. That's what I do.
So I'm gonna get a
And I
degree
did
from
that.
Georgetown and then say, you know what? I ain't even putting together no resume. I'm gonna be a singer.
I literally don't even remember my college
They wanted to
years.
kill you.
Well, my mom cried when I was like wanted to be a singer. She
Exactly.
cried because she was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Remember, I came here just to finish what I started, but I came here to get the deal. That's why I came to DC so I could work on that and be close to New York." But I knew that's what I was gonna do. I just wanted to finish my education but I was also like, I'm willing to leave if I get a deal. I was willing to like leave, which I'm glad I didn't. I don't suggest anyone do that. It seems like it's a long time, but like when you're that age, it's like just finish.
Yeah.
I don't know if an undergrad degree really does much for you now, but I
It's
guess
better
you
than
can-
nothing.
I guess it's better than nothing.
One
I
from
guess, and you can
Georgetown
still do
does.
your thing. You know what I mean? So I did that, but I don't remember anything about college. I literally remember. I think I have 2 professors like that. I remember. I had some classes. I can probably name you one.
What year did you
because
graduate?
all I did. What year did I graduate?
Yeah, don't try it.
He's trying to
I'm
figure
not
out
even
your-
doing
he's trying to figure out your age.
I'm not even doing that.
It's a trick. It's a trick.
I just know
Slip the jab.
I just know the
I
DC
told
clubs
you.
that were popping, so I would say you remember DC Live or you remember one of those hot spots.
No,
Dream.
Dream. I remember DC Live,
Park.
Dream,
Republic Gardens.
Republic Gardens.
Yeah, that's that's the DC you
but
remember.
Do you remember Quigley's?
Do I remember Quigley's? You used to go
All
downstairs.
I remember is
you used to have to go downstairs.
Yes.
Popping.
Case performed at Quigley's, and all I remember was like, man, that was so mean. And I'm sure he's very nice. But I remember he was performing, and he was throwing roses out into the audience, and these girls started scrapping over this rose, and I was just like, wow, they're really like fighting, like going to
women hate each
fisticuffs,
other, but
as
that's-
Joe would say.
That's a whole other podcast.
Yeah, over that, and I was like, wow, the power of the artist. I was like,
The power of the
taking
artist.
mental notes. But yeah, I don't remember anything with college, and that's why I was like, dang, I learned to be more present after that. Because I was like, that's weird that you don't remember anything.
So did the song
Anything.
like catapult you like into straight into fame?
Wait, before we get
Okay.
there, I want to know if music ran in your family at all.
Well, my mom
I wanna
plays
go according to
classical
the
piano.
timeline.
Okay, we'll go. I was born on a cold winter night. No, I was, but no, my mom plays she's like classical pianist, and my dad, he tries to sing. He has it in his heart. But
What does that really mean? He's that,
Popping in the shower.
It's okay to say.
he got it in his. He can appreciate good music. So I got a lot of like my soul music appreciation from my dad, like Marvin Gaye, Sam Cooke. They're like my favorite. David Ruffin, and my mom was like the classical piano.
So
and
Pops is playing the slaps.
I'm sorry. Does that mean he's playing an instrument?
No, he's playing
it's
good
a-
music.
Good music. The
Like
hits.
all the fire.
He's playing a good
I'm
song.
just trying to catch up. I'm trying to, yeah. He was playing, yeah, so he was playing all that. And then my mom was playing like Grease and like classical piano. And then I was listening to like rap and R&B
You gotta
and
balance.
heavy metal. I liked heavy metal when I was growing up. I liked everything when I was growing up.
How did Rich find you?
I actually, well, see that everything happens, if you look at your life, all the little pieces fit, right? So the only reason why I found Rich is because there was a guy that, Ron DeBerry actually, in DC, who I met because the girl that was in the group that I was trying to be in, because I'm not a group person, I don't fit into groups, but I was doing it because everyone kept saying you can get signed easier if you just get in a group. So this was like the third time trying to be in a group with somebody, and I was like, I should get to know her a little bit. She does this like fashion show stuff. I'm gonna go with her to the club so she can scout it, just so we can like vibe a little. And he was there. So while they were doing stuff, he was like, oh yeah, so what do you do? Da, 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 da. And I was like, well, I sing. And he was like, oh, okay. And that was it. So he became the guy I saw all the time because he was like managing DC Live or something like that. And he was like, I know she sings. So then like a year later or 2 years later, he's like, hey, my boy is a producer and he's looking for an artist. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay, so I gave him my number, and then I was like, okay, so he says he's a producer. I'm not going to go to his house. You know what I mean? I'm very like optimistic, maybe naive, but I'm not a dummy. So I was like, why don't we meet somewhere in public? And I was like, why don't we meet at McDonald's? Howard has that McDonald's
Georgia
right there.
Avenue.
So he was like, all right. But that never would have happened if I wasn't in a group and I didn't go with that girl that day to go look at the fashion show thing to meet
say
Ron DeBerry.
McDonald's like it was saved. That was R. Kelly's meetup spot.
But it's mad crowded on Georgia Avenue. That DC McDonald's is legendary.
So was the one in
So
Chicago.
was the McDonald's on 125th.
Same shit though. Same stuff.
But okay.
So we met there, and then he played me tracks that he had, and then I sang him some songs, and I think I played him some stuff that I had.
Now he's
The
on
problem being
fire
the
at this
group-
time?
No, so at that time he didn't have any placements. I think he had one placement on Amerie, which was beautiful. I think it's called Beautiful Ones with Amerie. That was his only placement. So he was still like coming up, and then he played some stuff. And I was like, "Ooh, I love that track. Save that for me." And I didn't have too much to play him, honestly, because even though I was always trying to like be in a group, it's my group, but somehow I never end up singing on anything. Somehow I get pushed out. And you'll hear me like, ooh, 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 That
was me.
Never on it. Yeah, literally. I'm like, how am I not on the, so, you know what I mean? Because I was working with my friends and stuff, and I was like, I don't need to be in no damn group. First of all, I was like, I'm not being appreciated here. I never get on any of the records. I was too like timid to like push to be writing on stuff. So I think I played him like two things, honestly. But we heard enough to like be like, let's work together. And so I think that was like December. We were like, let's get together. January, we worked together. I felt comfortable because it was like his house, but his mom was there. You know what I mean? And I sat on the back of a sofa like this and recorded our whole demo that ended up being the album. With the washing machine like right there, and that ended up a lot of those vocals ended up being on the album.
Oh wow,
too.
That's dope.
Yeah,
Wow.
but that was like in January, February. So we did like 2 test songs, and we were like, "This is dope," but we got something, and then we did the rest in January, February, March, and that was the album. That was the album.
So, and then I'm tossing to Mel, but you wouldn't call him your friend at the time.
No, I didn't know him. I only knew him like that. Why? Where's this going? I feel like there's a. Are you trying to make a point? It sounds.
I'm leading the one.
Okay, because it sounds like there's something that you're trying to prove to
Oh, I'm
Mel,
getting
and
right-
you're using me to prove.
No,
the
no,
point.
oh no. With Mel, absolutely not. Absolutely
They had to
not.
talk.
Absolutely
They had to
not.
talk.
You and Mel talking
That's
about
not a stretch, though.
I'm picking up the. I'm
They had to talk.
I'm
It's not a
catching
stretch.
I'm catching a dynamic.
No, that's not what I'm doing at all. With you, I'm leading up to the elephant in the room for me.
Okay, which was what?
That's jumping the timeline. You don't care? You want to?
Sure, I can always jump back. I'm all over the place. I go with the vibe.
What were your true feelings when he ended up giving Beyonce that song
Oh,
that
shit.
they said and
Okay.
she wanted to talk about? Let's
Yeah.
get to it.
But you know what?
You drop one thing. She drops "Crazy in Love." There are clearly similarities.
Legs, heels.
I've heard all of the stories. I've heard every story you could imagine
Okay.
about how this came to be and how everybody felt and how you may have felt and yada, yada, yada.
Probably heard more than me. I didn't hear all these stories.
No, I've heard everything. Are you shitting
Okay,
me?
no,
of
for
course
real,
you
I
heard
didn't.
stories.
I really didn't hear the stories about that particular song. No, I didn't hear it. Like I didn't hear anything about it. But a lot of people would be like, "Wait, that's not your record. Why did he give that record to you?" And I'm like, he never played that record for me. But after our first album, see the thing. What happened during that time?
Tell us.
Like after.
Tell us what happened. This is gonna
During-
be all over the internet.
After the.
There's gonna be a whole
No,
line, girl.
it's really. I mean, it's really simple. It's like we did the first album, right? And after the first album came out, it made a lot of noise, and people really loved that album. And Jay loved the album too. Like Jay-Z loved the
Rat
first
on
album.
hold.
So but during that, he's also a producer that's coming up. So now he has all these people coming to him for records. You know what I mean? And we did create a sound together. That's something that, like, when
And
we
they want
met,
that record.
he heard what I was looking for at the time was like someone who can do R&B, but like with hip hop, but like had some kind of bite. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't want it to just be straight up R&B because I usually would pick rap tracks all the time. And what he was looking for was somebody who would, have a different range. You could sing false, you could do this, but then you also had like a grit to your voice. So that's what he was telling me. So I was like, all right, we matched. I would create like melodies based off of what he was doing, and then he would create melodies based off of what I was doing. So it's almost like you couldn't really separate the sound. The sound was something we did create. After I come out, because he had one placement before that. After I come out, there were so many artists who were trying to work with him. So, he's gonna work with different artists. He's gonna have different songs. Just being, I'm being objective.
This is a crock of shit.
Listen, I'm being objective. He's going to want to play some songs with me as his artist, right? But he's going to want to play some songs elsewhere because he's also trying to grow and make his name as a producer. Now, one could argue that the best thing to do would be to keep it in-house, maybe get another artist, and you kind of create your brand.
Would you have argued that?
Or
You don't give it to.
did I argue that?
Is that what you would think? You said-
No, because see, we never really discussed anything. The thing with me and Rich is our relationship was always more like in the studio. When we were not in the studio, we didn't actually really talk very much.
You've done too much healing.
What?
You've healed too much.
I told you I'm no longer a curmudgeon, and I was very curmudgeon. But
before we came on air, she said to me, "Listen, I'm not jaded."
I'm not jaded. No, I'm so excited.
And I was like,
feel
I'd
so
love
good.
to hear how you did that because coming through the music business, I haven't got rid of mine. I'm shady that thing up. Boy, they fucked my up breaking up. Oh, for real. Oh, man, I love being shady. Seriously.
Nigga's an idiot, yo.
No, listen, but so later I do want to hear how you came out of that because so many artists fall victim to that. But where were you when you hear Crazy in Love? How long after you hear Crazy in Love do you text Rich?
You know what?
Before the
I never
bridge.
said, what the fuck? No, I'm joking. I never said that. when I heard Crazy in Love, I loved it. I was on the set of a movie because I was doing a movie. I'm so sorry. I keep getting.
It's okay.
off
Can we
of
move
the-
the whole thing up? Let's just move the whole thing
Okay.
up.
There you go.
Because I kind of like to be like,
Yeah,
this,
lay back,
like,
chill.
I'm taking my shoes off.
Get in your
That's
bag.
That's good.
Yeah.
Just push the whole
Right,
stand
right.
back. Push the whole
Never
stand
seen
back.
Yeah, put the whole thing
Take
back.
that.
One mic.
Look, Mel don't know what to do with that. Look, Mel trying to act like she helping.
And that's fun.
Mel don't know
Thank
what's
you.
going on.
There you go.
Mel, get your ass.
What happened?
You don't even have a mic. Shut the fuck up. Keep going,
So
girl.
I was on the set of a movie, and like really what I got out of it, because there was some people who were like, yo, you heard the song? Why didn't Rich give that to you? Because obviously I'm his artist, so everyone's just like, what's that? And it sounds like you, and it's got your things in it. But again, the sound that we created was it was like circular. You put this in, I put that in, and vice versa, right? But I was like, no, I love the record, but okay, I understood even at that time, he can't just only work with me. You know what I mean? And as a producer, you're going to be cheating on me. You're going to be like giving records to other people. So I understood that. But what it did do, though, I was like, when is this movie done? I need to get in the studio.
Yeah.
Like, when are we done?
Yeah.
I literally asked like a producer like that twice. Like, this has been going over. And he was like, we're almost done. You can't like not be in the rest of the movie. And I was just like, I don't know if I'm going to do this again.
Because one thing came out first, right?
No, it didn't actually. It didn't.
Was
come
it
out
done
first.
first?
No, it was. I mean, it probably was created already. I'm the way Rich would
Because that's one of the
create,
stories
he
that's
would
floating
create-
out there.
No, he
Yeah,
would create.
that's the one I
like,
heard.
Yeah.
He might have had a whole thing, but Rich, it was slow to create. So he's not one of those producers who are like creating this, and this. It'd be like, I'm gonna go away for a while. Here's the one track. I'm gonna go
One
away
Thing
for a
didn't come
while.
out
Here's
first?
no, it
One
didn't.
thing came out in like 2005, right?
2005.
And that came out in 2004.
No,
Crazy
Crazy
in
in
No,
Love came out.
one
in
thing
03.
came out at the,
03.
at the
Right,
end
okay.
of 2004 because it was Christmas because I leaked it.
Oh.
I was like, I think I might get
You
dropped.
had
But you
to
know what?
leak one thing?
Yeah. See, you know so many stories.
But the
then
album came
actual
out in
story-
2005, right? Touch.
The album, yeah. The one Touch came out in 2005. One Thing came out in 2004 because I leaked it over Christmas because everyone would be on break, so they can't stop anything. So I was
Exactly.
like, I'm gonna be out here. I'm gonna drop a match. For me, I was like, look, I think I might get dropped. So I just want people to hear the music. I don't really care about getting paid for it. I just want people to hear it because I believe in it. And they're on Christmas break, so we can just do it. And at the time, they were trying to like give the record to somebody else. They were trying to do that, but they couldn't because I wrote on the record too. So you can't just take it. And that was frustrating for them, I guess.
But why is this your standing with the label at this point? You got a hit in your pocket that they're trying to give to other people.
Because one, they didn't really understand that it was a hit totally, and then two, it was like there's so many other big artists at the label, you know what I mean? And I'm still new, and they're not really sure what I can do. Then they already have kind of like their pinnacle artists, so they're just looking at it like we'll just filter it over here.
Do you know who they were trying to give
Not-
it to?
Yes, Jennifer Lopez. That's how did you not know this story? And not that she was trying to wrest it away
We
from
gonna
me.
get
It's
vocals
just
on
that's
that.
just what they were
I
trying to
ain't
do.
mad at
You know what I mean? But it was just more like, and they weren't like she wasn't trying to be like give it to me. It was just like they were thinking, hey, we want this on her. We want it, but it's like you can't take it because it's my record. So that was just their plan. And I was like, well, I also think maybe it's not the best situation for me, so I'm gonna just leak it. And then it ended up blowing up. It like took off in the UK, like just off a DJ list. And then
That is such a polite fuck, J-Lo.
no, it's not. I love Jennifer
messy.
Lopez.
Yo, you are terrible.
He's a messy
What
person.
about
He
J-Lo?
go-
If I'm leaking my record while they're actively trying to sell it to
But
somebody,
that wasn't her fault though, because she's just at the label. Like she
got to get it. So
I don't know how much she may or may have known about it. It's just like this is our artist. We're gonna
They were shitting on a
Yeah,
lot
but
of
if
people
I hear
just to
you,
get
if I know I got a
They-
slap,
yeah.
They were
and I
shit-
hear
Give
you,
it to you.
I hear you trying to give it to her. What?
They were- the label was purposely shitting on a lot
Yeah.
of other female
I could've
artists
heard
over
that.
there to get J-Lo.
well, you know, no, really, what it is like. And again, I can just try to be objective about it. I really like my thing is I don't take things personally because I know like whatever happens is usually not personal. Even if someone's like, I want to kill you, it's probably because something's going on with them. You know, I'm triggering something within you. That's
so sweet.
You are a hippie. She's a hippie.
no, but I'm serious. It's like something's going on with them at the end of the day. So for that, it's like, okay, they got a lot of artists. They're like, we want to, because they actually kind of were like, not suppressing it in a, I guess, I don't know how they did it, but they were basically not giving push to one thing so they can just do other.
But where I'm trying to find
It's kind of
out.
like we don't want this. This is doing so well. We have to suppress that because we really want this to go. Kind of like how Mark, kind of like how we got these other nominees that people are interested in, but we want to, we're going to choose to go with this person, so we don't want to have any kind of, the thing.
Yeah.
We don't want any primaries.
Right.
So instead of just going with what's working and what people want, you're just trying to force the issue, and you can't really do that, especially with art. You know what I mean? So
I'm trying to see where the label's dismay came from.
I don't think they had
projects.
dismay. I think they were just like, we have a certain amount of money and we have some big artists and we're going to just put it all in this pot. Instead of being wiser and saying it's better to have multiple
Spread
artists
it out.
keeping the lights on instead of just 2 or 3. Because obviously if they leave,
Yeah, that's crazy.
that's bad for us.
Labels don't
You
know
know.
the fuck.
But everything
But I'm
also
happy and
happens-
healthy and
No.
I'm not jaded. And
No, the thing is,
We know,
listen,
girl.
everything
You believe
happens.
that?
Everything happens for a reason, though, and like whatever is for you is for you. So no one can take what is for you. Why are you hanging your head?
J-Lo would have took what was for you. And
Heartbeat.
what?
But it wasn't meant for that. Wasn't meant, so it didn't happen.
Gotcha. I
It
understand.
happened the way
Your
it
little
happened,
manifestation.
right?
I get it.
And if anything, perhaps the whole me getting whispers of the record being taken was the impetus,
Yeah, that sparked,
which
yeah.
sparked me to do and leak it. And if that didn't happen, then everything would be different. So even when you think something's bad is going to happen, sometimes it's just the motivation you need to do the thing, and you just stay on your path. You need those things.
I get it.
Have you ever lent your vocals to somebody who was challenged in that department, but they're the big star?
Oh, like singing. They sing over it.
Like basically, like what Ashanti.
Background
Ashanti? No,
vocals.
no,
yeah.
I never did that.
Background, foreground, yeah.
Yeah.
The whole
Yeah,
fucking song.
No,
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't do that.
Gosh, yo, what's going on right
Just wondering.
Yeah, no.
What was your question earlier?
I missed it.
We were talking about
you didn't
But
we ain't
I,
agree
I,
with
I
you.
said you were saying what you were saying. I didn't believe that you really felt those sentiments. Like I think
Felt what?
sentiments.
About giving the song to Jennifer Lopez, the bigger artist at the time, for the label's best interest,
I'm not
as
giving
opposed to
Jennifer
yours.
Lopez. Hell no.
Right.
No. I'm
we
not
seen
doing that.
we seen so many examples when they did it, and it made sense for the label to do so.
But she
So
already
that
had hit records, though. That's the difference.
that would make- that's-
Not as big as those other hits. I mean, what's best is for you to just really work with all your artists. And to be fair, I will say that's like I don't know who really was doing that. Maybe it was just like the head of the label or someone else. But I don't want to seem like I'm throwing people under the bus, because even though you have the label, there are so many people you work with. Like, where's Court? You know what I mean? That people who are at the label who are really like, who become like your fam. It might be like your
Yeah.
publicist. It might be like the A&R,
A&R.
whoever it is. And everybody's
day-to-day.
working hard like to do the best for you, and they're also trying to make sure they keep their jobs. But at the end of the day, sometimes labels will make those decisions, and it might be like coming from the top.
Tommy
Yeah.
was the head of the label.
That's what
at
I'm
the time.
saying.
Donnie Einer
Okay.
was the head. At
Like,
the top.
I have a different opinion if she's working hand in hand with the label. She's not.
I
That's
have
the-
a different opinion if she don't have hits.
Right.
She had multiple hits on her own, and she's got another hit
Right.
in the stash. That's a little different.
They didn't really even. That was the thing about. That was so curious about that whole thing with the one thing and giving the record away or wanting to give it to someone else, because they kind of didn't even understand the record even. They kind of. I
This
remember
will
they
bug me
sent
out.
they sent over like 3 different versions of one thing, but with a different hook. And I remember one was like, "It's this one thing when you did this thing," and I was like, "That was weird." And I was like, "Oh, well,
Guess who was going to be doing
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
listen,
Every
we a
7th
slave-
grade white girl in America would have been.
No, but that changes that.
It wasn't. No,
cool.
it actually didn't work. It was just like it was. They thought maybe it was just too repetitive. Like the hook was too repetitive. But music is like it's subjective. So everyone's not going to get it all the time. It's
They ain't know what to do with a
something's for
commercial
you
go-go record.
or something's not.
Because it's typically a go-go record if you really look at the breakdown of the beat.
But they had
Yeah.
commercial hits with go-go records around the same time.
Not like that.
Not like that, though.
that. And so I think for them it was kind of like, well, what is this? Because they were thinking instead of just feeling it, or they just weren't getting it.
Yeah.
But
you know.
but it's cool because I learned a lot, and everything that happened was something that I had to experience.
Oh, Amy
You know what I
Marie,
mean?
please. We about to get to when you was depressed. All right.
I never got depressed. I never
when you
All this healthy bullshit. All right. Well, right after one thing.
Okay, then
Well,
what?
we flew over like
What did we fly over?
Go ahead.
all I
man.
have, the entire album.
Okay.
Like that whole experience. Like you're introduced to the world with "Why Don't We Fall in Love?" The
Which
song,
is still a summer anthem.
it's part of the soundtrack of our fucking lives.
Yeah.
And so many people. So there's the enormous hit that was. It was such an incredible video. You're stunningly beautiful. Everybody was fucking talking about you. And then the album itself is fucking dope. Like it's track after track. Like Float, All I Have, Talking to Me. Like that album.
We let her hear it before you came.
Shut the fuck up.
It's so fresh to her.
That's such a hater, yo. Don't listen. Why you letting them? Don't listen to him.
You're
don't
right.
Listen to
Fuck him. I'm not even talking to him. Okay, I'm turning her around. Okay, yeah. But it's just like
making you feel good. Yes.
You want to know what? Listen, I had just moved to New York in 2001. So then that album comes out like basically the first summer or maybe like the second summer that I'm here. So it really had like an impact. It stayed in my CD player, like on repeat.
No, I'm laughing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So it's just like, I'm just wondering what was the label's, like, how did you cope with fame and like being catapulted into it? And then also like, what was the label's reception to you? Did they consider you a priority at that time?
They did. It was really interesting because remember I was telling you that I couldn't remember anything with college, right? And when I say that, I really do really mean that those 4 years is almost like a blank. And I can remember 2 teachers, like 2 classes, but all I did all the time is I would walk around and I would just imagine I was doing my video. I would imagine, like I would be like have my little job or between classes, but I'm walking, but my head is not paying attention to what's going on. I'm literally in a video. I'm literally like doing this and
Rainy
that.
wet streets.
Oh, my wet,
rainy
yes.
wet streets.
When I was driving that Eclipse, I was like, this is a Range Rover. I mean, I was always in my I stay in my imagination still.
Eclipse
I'm
for
always
girls
like,
back then?
Yeah,
That was
Range
one of the
Rover.
ones.
I
The
was
little
like-
bubble back, the little bubble back
the
joints.
Eclipse?
All the drug dealer girlfriends had them.
Yo, Ish is a
I'm
He's
John
lying.
lying.
But he's
he's right.
Am I lying?
He ain't lying.
He's 100%.
I heard
right.
not. No.
no.
Sorry.
Yo, this guy crazy.
That
So
little
all
water
I
gap, huh?
have, back to me. My sister's lying. Yeah, so I just stayed in my head. But so when All I Have came out, I thought I would be prepared for. First of all, I was really scared to death to perform in front of anybody. So that was something I had to figure out. I thought I was like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm gonna do this and this.
That was the rumor.
But I was so scared to perform people. I would kind of like be shaking behind, and it was kind of like a boot camp for me because I remember I was on the Nas tour and I had to like go to a school for kids in the morning, go do that, and then at night after the show I would go to a club and perform. And so it like knocked out the anxiety from me. But I thought that I would be like, I didn't think I would be like that. And then I also thought that like when I got recognized, I'd be kind of like, hey, I'm ready. Hey, sure, autographs, da-da-da. But I remember the first time I got like recognized by a group of people when I was like on tour, and they're like, oh my goodness, I ran, I hid behind a bus, I was like shaking, I was like, this is not normal, this is not normal. So I had to like figure that out. But that's why I didn't get depressed about stuff, because I learned then, I was like, okay, you gotta like, you are gonna have to remember that you're you, and this Amerie that everyone's like, hey, that's Amerie, that is who they think you are, that's what you do. You are you, and that is separate. So I kind of separated it.
You were able
at
to do that
time.
on the first album?
I had to, because I was like, otherwise, this is gonna make me get weird. And I have to like, so I was like, I have to make sure I still have my same friends that I had when I was 13, or like who I went to high school with. Because other than that, I'm gonna feel like I'm floating away or something. I knew that. And that kept me also from like when All I Have came out, yes, the label was very like, they did prioritize me. They left us alone creatively because I came in with the album. So they didn't try to like make me do other things, but they did. And then when they did try to step in, and I don't want to say control my image, but like get on stuff, it was really the opposite of like make you be naked. It was really like, why is she wearing those short shorts? They're too short. And so they were really trying to like really, I was like,
you're beautiful, but you were not like super
you.
like hypersexualized.
Well, wait till now.
I mean, girl, yeah. I mean, well, when then one thing comes out with video in the little short shorts and you're dancing.
No, we're talking something else now. It's gonna be just wait. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I'll think about it. I did always have this idea where I wanted to. Well, never mind.
Tell
What are you
us.
saying?
What? No, we have a rule that you can't do that.
Yeah, we
You
can't
have
do
to-
that.
Oh,
We'll do
you
it.
can't.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Once you do
Like
it,
there were some
Tell us.
like desert things. Like I did have an idea where I wanted to be like maybe like. See, when I say my ideas, sometimes it takes me a long time to do them, and that's why I don't want to say anything.
Somebody gonna steal your shit?
Not that they steal it because the thing is, it's not about stealing. See, that's another thing. Well, sometimes some people might just steal your idea, but a lot of times when you have an idea, it's like it's not your idea. It's like the thing that you have in your mind that you want to create is like in the greater consciousness. You know what I mean? So it's almost like you're just pulling from what already is. So if that's a thing that you're thinking, possibly someone else is thinking that too.
Yeah.
It's because it's like floating around already.
But that's okay. I mean, like,
so
a
it's
lot
like-
of times I'll use somebody as like inspiration.
You gotta get to it quick. You gotta get to
You
it.
use somebody's.
Let's say
Suck it in.
brother.
This might be an off question. Do you smoke weed?
No, I do crack. That's more my lane.
That's my foot.
Well, I just happened to have
Couple nickels.
No,
this guy at party.
It's weird to say, but there's just certain people that gives me like high energy.
Word.
I don't. No, I don't smoke or drink.
No, but you just have like this cool, very like
Shroomy.
Wiz, like
I was
She
thinking
sound like she
shrooms.
come from a
Outlook.
good family.
Oh, thanks.
right,
Not,
that's what you're saying.
not
Yeah,
from-
that's it.
yes, Joe.
That's a nutcase.
I sound like I'm not a target.
Actually,
I'm not prey.
and you
Pray is a horrible word. Pray is a nasty word, but
Ice.
No, I'm not. I don't.
A slide?
I never.
Is that better?
I never.
we never
I'm not a
heard.
drinker or something, but I did try it before. Like not. I
Did you
the
inhale?
brownie. Nothing happened. If I were gonna do any drugs, which I wouldn't, because I'm too vain and I love my body too, so I'm like I'm not gonna do stuff to it. But I did try, and
Well,
if
that's
I
what
was
Ish
gonna
says.
do something, I would need something to be like, you don't have to sleep. You're up on. But I can be manic anyway, so I don't need that.
all right.
But I did try drinking once because I wanted to see what would
Quigley's?
happen. No. Literally, I was sitting at a bar in a hotel, and the point was to get drunk because I wanted to see
what it felt like.
Yeah, and I was like dictating it as it happened, and I remember I was like,
What were you getting
I was
drunk
with
off of?
Rich actually. I don't remember. Like, maybe it was Goldschlager because I remember
My God,
no, because
start there.
because
And you never got drunk again, and I know
because
why. I don't stop
Yeah, I
you
never
getting drunk
did because
again,
it was an
yeah.
experiment. 'Cause
That
I
is
remember
actually what we drink when we're teenagers.
My college roommate was she was also white like you, so that's why you know about it. So, yeah,
Just in case you didn't know.
I was like, I want to try this experiment because I want to know why do people like this.
Just in case
So
you
I
ain't know you was
why?
But
white.
Goldschlager is like not a gateway. You know what I'm saying?
No, it is. I was like, I need to go. I want to get hammered. I was like, I want to go from here.
Oh, you should have done
to
Goldschlager
here.
and Jägermeister. That'll get you fucked up.
Also, that's but it was like
Bad
when I
memories.
did
You
it, I
picking
was
the
like,
whitest
oh, I see
drinks
why
ever.
people do it.
Word. Georgetown.
It's called liquid cocaine.
Georgetown, yo.
I always went. Where are you from?
I'm a military brat,
Okay.
so I lived everywhere. But like the DMV, like DC, like pretty much adopted me because when I was there for a long time, and
Okay.
that's where Rich and I met, and we kind of created like our thing, our sound. And it's very much a DC vibe.
That was.
I didn't get to finish telling you about my drunk narration.
Okay,
Okay,
keep
go
going.
Oh yeah.
Yes, please.
Back
Love
to
that
me.
DC.
No, but like it was. I really just to be quick. I did do it as an experiment. That's why I did the Goldschlager.
Okay. So how'd you feel? You didn't
I
like
narrated it. I was like, this is what's happening. I was like, things are slowing down. I was like, I feel like my eyes are moving from side to side. And he was like, okay. Because he's, Richard is like, all right. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, and then I just started laughing a lot. And I was like, I'm laughing, but nothing's funny. And I know that nothing's funny. The part of me that's not drunk, like my higher self, is like, hey, nothing's funny. And I know it, but I can't stop laughing. And I was like, whoa, I was like, wait. Everything's going slow. And basically, I got really, really drunk. And everything was really funny. But I was like,
you got tipsy. Really drunk means you wouldn't have been able to control any of that. You would have been.
no,
or
that was the
narrate none of
beginning.
that.
Or narrated.
No, that
was
was the
you
beginning.
got,
You got to
oh,
that.
you,
Then
okay.
after that, it was
All right.
just, But I think I got to the point where I couldn't really walk.
Oh,
we just sat there. And I was
Okay,
just
yeah,
laughing.
that's drunk. That's drunk.
So that was interesting. I was like, that's an interesting experience. I wouldn't do it again. And I was like, I don't like not being in control of my senses.
And that's before Uber too.
Yeah, I mean that's the hotel I was staying at, so I just sat there. We just sat there, and then finally it was like maybe I wasn't that drunk because it did wear off eventually.
I hate you.
So
That's before.
That's before Uber.
That is before Uber.
I know.
Yeah, so I wouldn't. That was the only time. But yeah, I'm not into the drinking and stuff and
Okay.
all that.
And you became Muslim last year, right?
I did, but apparently I'm not Muslim.
What?
Wait,
According to my cousin,
you took your shahada?
I did take my shahada.
So
but
you're
the
Muslim.
thing is, and that's what I was saying. And she was like, Amerie, I don't think you're Muslim. And I was like, let me ask you, Mom Rashad. Because the things that I believe, I have a lot of like non-Islamic beliefs because they're just my spiritual beliefs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, I believe in reincarnation. I believe I've done it many times. I believe that what's happening in my life are things that I like co-created, or my spirit guides. Like I set up certain points, and that's why I recognize them when they happen. I believe that we choose my parents and my child. I believe that I co-create, and then it's like God is the creator, the universe is the game board, and universal law, like Hermetic principles. Those are the rules.
Do you have
so
crystals?
You actually can, huh?
Do you have crystals?
I do. I got rid of them years ago, and then
Got them back.
and then I got them back because I was like, my thing is like, yes, you can, like I wear some, you know what I mean? But I was like, I also believe that when you have stuff, like the thing is like, even when people can like think they can become totems. Like, I need this. And I'm like, we have so much power. You can literally be like this, and you can like, whatever you need, you can do it. Like, you can be stripped of everything. And you have the power to like,
do whatever.
create it. Like, you have the power to do that. Even when it comes to like anti-aging, you tell your mind, you tell your body, we're just gonna slow down, or we're not gonna do that, or I'm gonna do this. And you literally can like control your heart rate. You can make your eyes like dilate. Like, if you ever look in the mirror and you just like, you can imagine like I'm in the dark. It can be bright. You just imagine like you're in the dark and I'm in the cave, and you just do it as a mental exercise. And you'll watch your eyes dilate like this, but you did it with your mind.
That's
now I'm gonna
it.
start going like this and be levitating.
That's
no,
it.
so
You're
I
on the
was
list
like,
of people that I want to get high with.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I could just
You
talk
have,
and
but
do
She
it.
don't need
You
it
have
to
high
get high.
energy.
And then like
Yeah,
I
but
asked my
you
imam
wanna get
about,
high with
you know,
them,
I was
though.
like, I believe in ancient astronaut, theory. So what about that? And he was like, yeah, it's a possibility, which basically is that we're genetically engineered by the Anunnaki.
So wait, so have you like tried other
Like
religions on for size? Like
Well, I
before
was
this, like did you?
I was Christian,
Yeah.
because I grew up Christian, and then I was like, I'm just more spiritual with.
So
Like,
did you think
more
about
of
Buddhism?
this. I feel like actually my beliefs align a lot with Buddhism, but then I thought that you have to pray to Buddha, and then I realized some sects don't.
No.
So I was like, I don't know. Like, even when I went into religion, it was really because when my son was born, right? And I was like, I know we have our thing, like our spiritual thing, but I feel like I'm not giving him enough. I give him all this, but I was like, I'm not Christian anymore, but I feel like I need to take him to church, or maybe I would take him to mosque. But I was like, other than Iman, she don't live here, I couldn't go with her to masjid. Then I was like, in Buddhism, my grandma was Buddhist, but I don't know anything about that either. So I was like, then I started to feel like I'm floating. Like, I understand this. This is law. This is law. I'm talking with my girls, like, what's going on? And she was like, this is universal law. But I'm like, I remember, like, I would talk to God in the kitchen, like, God, this is what's going on. I'm like, this is what, I don't think I'd want to do this, but you know better than me. But I'm just saying, this is what I want. I want this, but don't give it to me if this is not going to work out for me. You know best, but let's do this, and this is what I'm thinking. I want to know what you think. I'll pay attention to the signs. Give me a sign, and I'll get it. And usually I get a sign like real fast, like in 2 hours or something. But then it started to feel like, God, I was like, I don't have my phone anymore. Like, what? I feel like I can't like connect. I feel like everything is law, and I understand that. But universal law doesn't care about you. It's not about good or bad. You get what you are, not what you want. Not if you're good, not if you're bad. You get where your attention is and your energy. And once people understand that, they get what they are, like where
You don't believe
what
in
they're
karma, though?
vibrating. Karma, and like you do this and then you get something back coming to you.
No, just in like a universal sense, like if you throw out negative energy, if you throw out evil energy, that somehow it's gonna come back to you.
Not necessarily.
You
I
don't
believe only if you believe it. And I remember like when I was a kid one time, right? I learned that lesson fast. See, I get my lessons really, really quick. So a lot of kids were like shoplifting and stuff, and I was like, you're a kid, you're just trying to just see like, oh, you're a girl in high school. It might be like a 99-cent lip gloss or whatever, right? So I remember thinking, this is not right. I'm a person who apologized to my band teacher like when I was like 30. Because I was like, hey, Mr. Nault, remember that time we were in class? And
Yo, you gotta stop.
no, for real. And I was
so
like,
nice.
I said I didn't have my flute because I bowed to peer pressure and I didn't have my stuff. And then I lied. And I remember because my dumb self brought my flute to like class. Everyone else left in their locker because I wanted to know what it felt like to like break the rules, right? And so I did it. But I'm like, I know. I was so bad at high school.
So bad.
No, but it was a lesson. It was a lesson to me. So he was like, Amerie, he was so harsh. He was like, I don't like liars. That stuck with me like my whole life. So later, like, I apologized. He was like, I forgot about that, and it was really not that big of a deal. I was like, I know, but it stuck with me. So my lessons were, the reason why I say that is because I learned my lessons quick. So when I shoplifted that like lip gloss or whatever, I remember it was 99 cents. I had a bracelet that was like, had sentimental value to me. And I remember like the day after that, it was gone. I had it for so long. And I knew it's because you took the thing. This is a lesson to you. And here's the thing, that won't happen to everyone. It doesn't happen to everyone. You only lost the bracelet because you believe that was wrong, and you believe that you should have a lesson for that. But if I were somebody who were like, I can do what I want, I don't need to, in this lifetime, I do what I want. And I truly don't believe that I deserve any repercussions.
Still have it today.
I would have the bracelet today because the way the universe works is it's going to give you what you are, right? So I know that I'm somebody who has to do the right thing as I see it and live in like the truth as I see it. If I don't, part of my journey in this world is that if I don't, I'm not going to be in alignment because that's not my path. But if I was someone who didn't care, I could freaking be killing people, doing all kinds of stuff, and be just fine.
You know how we be like, yo, why that person that did all this bad shit didn't get their karma? They didn't get their karma because they don't think that it's bad shit, or they don't identify with it being bad shit.
But here's the thing. A lot of times at the end of the day, that person may end up in jail because, like, on a vibrational level, like when you look at like on a soul level, even people who do stuff like that, they deep inside. What's that movie in Goodfellas? Remember he was like, he got caught because he wanted to, because he didn't want to go home to his wife or whatever. Yeah, it was like, right? Yeah. I forgot who it was. So like deep inside, most people know when something's not right, sitting right with them. So most of the time, you are going to end up in wherever. See, these are these things that y'all, what's going on? Well, I want to know the backstory. What's going on?
Well, between me and this is my girl, right?
He's like,
is it hard
so, you know,
is it hard to have those values?
But I believe in all these non-Islamic things, and I believe that we're genetically engineered, like human beings are genetically engineered.
You're Muslim.
Engineered by who?
The Anunnaki.
Okay.
That's also my passion. So it's like, and it's all that. I told my parents, I was like, pick up the Bible and just read it, just for funsies. Just read it as like see the flaming swords of Eden as like lasers. Look at the ark as a submarine. Look at the 2x2 animals as vials of DNA. I was like, it all starts to make sense if you like just look at it from a different perspective.
You don't get high?
I don't need to.
This is hot talk.
That's off the natural.
That's off the nat.
That's off the natty.
No, I think if I got high, I don't know what would happen.
You probably do nothing.
That might be interesting. No, but like if you did like DMT or ayahuasca.
I was thinking of that.
She would turn into Dr. Manhattan.
Really interesting.
I feel like if I did something, I want to see like freaking cartoons. I want to see like
talk
your
to grass
head
and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, I did an experiment where I was talking to the trees.
And what happened?
Did you do that? You know, on TikTok, it was like the trees that like come to you.
Well, you know, I do shrooms, so I definitely have had conversations with the grass.
I got a trick for that.
You talking to the tree sober?
Because I saw on TikTok, and I was like, that makes sense, because plants can hear you.
They should hear
you wasn't on nothing and just talked to the trees?
No. I was like, come here. I was like, I felt like it bent towards me. Because
that's possible.
But plants can hear you. So they did like an experiment. Like if they did an experiment where they were like trying to like, they put lie detectors on these plants. And then after the experiment was done, the scientists were like, we're done with the plants. What are we going to do with them? Just burn them. I need a drink. And the plants started going, like the lie detector thing started going off. He's like, I need a drink. They could hear it. So like, everything has consciousness, even if it's like a different kind of consciousness.
I do agree with that.
You understand?
I definitely.
I'm talking shit, but I agree with that.
Yeah.
So apparently the trees, according to TikTok videos,
or mushrooms,
you look
source.
super perplexed.
Listen.
Mark is like, he's sitting there with us.
He is.
I'm just I'm fascinated. That's all. This is my fascinated face.
I went to Sequoia National Park, right? Where they have like the big like sequoias and the redwoods and right? The trees. It's totally different energy when you get up there. Like I started crying.
That's in San Francisco, right? Because I went to there.
It's Bakersfield kind of thing. Like yeah.
not so far.
Like an hour and a
I
half
wanna
away
try
from
to
LA.
go.
Yeah.
I want to go there.
Yeah. But like in San Francisco, it's Muir Woods and
Yeah.
then like Redwood. But like totally different energy up there. Like started crying immediately and like hugged trees and you could like feel
You can
like
feel
that.
it.
You can feel
Okay,
like
you guys.
Okay, you guys.
That's awesome that you were hugging the trees.
Would you rather we talk about hugging strippers?
Yes.
She's watched this show before.
But I was going to ask you about that though. I mean, like the kind of energy you're on, the kind of stuff you're into.
I've always been on it though.
But that's what I mean, and then also like the honesty you have, like your character in terms of going back to your middle school teachers and stuff. It just seems so at odds with the music industry. Like how hard is it to navigate that world being who you are?
Crack is around, so I'd be like, no, you know what? Here's the thing that's so like funny. I feel like somehow I wasn't shielded from the parts that would make me jaded. Because like several years ago, I feel like that I never got depressed because again, I told you when I got in, I was like, I'm gonna make sure I know that I'm me and that is not me. This is what I do. When everyone's like, I love you, I love you, I love you. They love how you make them feel. If they don't actually know you. And that's okay.
Facts.
Because I love how other artists make me feel too. But I have to differentiate that from myself so I don't become depressed and become sad if now I feel like people don't love me anymore. So
That's good.
I had to do that in the beginning. You know, I didn't come in the industry as like a 15-year-old, you know what I mean? Or a 10-year-old or even a...
We don't know how old you were when you came in the industry.
Because I'm 220 years old.
I believe it.
The funny thing is...
The trees told her.
She's Anunnaki.
So, you know, but I did get to a point where I was like, I felt like when I first came in, everything was flowing, right? Then I remember feeling like, man, it's almost like no matter what I do, I feel like there's so much resistance. It's like it's not working with me because, you know, the stars aren't aligning, whatever. But something is just, so then it just started to be like, I don't know, I feel like no matter what I do anyway, it's not going to work. That kind of thing with music. And then I remember my mom saying, yeah, because when things are right, they just flow. And I was like, you know, that's when I realized this is not my time. But my time's going to come later. This is a time for me to like learn and test run. My actual time is going to be later, much later, but I don't know when. But when it happens, then I'll know. And I remember telling my sister, because Angela's very practical. My sister's a lawyer. And she's like, okay, but but how about this? And she was like, well, how? And I was like, I don't know. Even like up to like 2 years ago. I was like, I know no one ever comes and says, you know, you did your thing and you had a really big record and you had some other big records. But 20 years from now, girl, that is going to be your time. I was like, that just doesn't happen.
Right.
You have your time and then that's kind of it. I was like, but I know that's not what's written. That's not what's there. I know it. And I was like, I know it doesn't make sense because it's not how it happens, but somehow that's just going to be what happens.
Sometimes you can have like a resurgence. Like
Not a resurgence. Well, I don't want to speak too soon because I'm not God, so I don't know. But just test run and then later. Actually, Fab is the only person I ever told outside of my family. I was like, Fab is going to... Well, now I'm telling everybody, actually. I don't know if I want to do that. I guess I just did already anyway.
We're out here now.
I was like, the first time's going to be like a test run. And now my time is going to be later. And I don't know like exactly what it's going to look like, but it's going to be much different and just, it's going to be like what I always was like, this is the time. And he was like, well, how are you going to do that? Because you just said like you're in mommy mode and da-da-da. I was like, I don't know. That's all I was given. I wasn't given the rest of it. So we'll see. And I didn't even know until when I woke up that day, I didn't know that the switch was going to switch. And I was like, oh, it's time for now. Let me get in the studio right now. Until like later that day. But anyway.
You didn't go through a lot of periods.
The depression part.
She keeps skipping the part where I think the depression came in.
Okay, let me go back to, okay, so let me go to there. I never got depressed, but what I did get was kind of like,
disillusioned.
I got disillusioned and I kind of felt like, I don't know if I want to do it because I just kind of kept feeling like it's just the same thing will just happen, kind of like a whole bunch of nothing. You know what I mean? I was like, and so I think there's a part of me, like I didn't start really listening to music again even until like last year. So I went through like 10 years where I didn't listen to anything other than like occasional workout, occasional songs here and there.
Why?
But generally, see, I thought that it was because now I'm writing. So I was
Yeah.
writing. My novel's
Did your-
coming out June 10th, by the way. So
Book club.
Book club.
Yeah.
I thought it was because you're in writing mode and you're not in that right now. Plus, it's like you kind of got feelings about the industry, but really it's just that you're writing and you're studying stuff. So I would work out to like quantum physics lectures and like geopolitical lectures, and that's what I would work out to. And road trip. Nobody
You really
wanted to
are a
go.
nerd.
I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
Nobody
You
wanted to
are
go
a
on a
nerd.
road trip with me. But then I realized later, I was like, you weren't listening to music because you were trying to avoid it. Because you knew it was going to make you feel, and this is something I realized, I don't know, like a month ago. I was like, you felt like it was going to make you angsty because it's going to make you want to make music, which is going to make you kind of like, oh, but this is the time, and how last time this, and maybe that won't work, and how do I do this, and how do I do that? So all you're going to do is be frustrated. And so that just made me be like, I'm not listening to any music. It was almost like, hey, we're going to road trip, can I turn that off? Like that.
Wow.
Like, I don't want to listen to anything. I don't want to listen to me. I don't want to listen to anyone, right? So I guess that was kind of like a defense mechanism, actually, and maybe,
Yeah, I
but
think
maybe
that.
that's why. But I knew the time would come. But I just knew that there's nothing I could do about it until the time came. So why just put myself through like getting frustrated?
Tell me what's
That's what I
different.
felt like.
What's different about you creating an album today versus 20 years ago?
I think, one, I like how things changed where by the time my albums came out a long time ago, I was kind of like tired. When I create songs, I do it and I'm done with it. I'm kind of on to the next. I create it and then I kind of move on. I listen to the song over and over and over again, and then I like never listen to it again. I never listen to my albums, really. And I was like, well, maybe I should start doing that a little more. I don't know, but I'm not a person who like has like my albums. I need to get my plaques. If you came to my house, you'd never know that. Now you probably start seeing more stuff there, but because I said I was going to change that. But like, I don't have my pictures on the wall or anything like that. I don't have any pictures of myself anywhere really, other than like maybe a couple pictures of my son or my family.
Damn, when's the
but
last
I don't
time
have any built plaques or anything.
When's the last time you listened to your first album? You haven't.
No,
went back-
I went back
Okay.
because I got to make sure I refresh myself. But actually, like a couple years ago, I did listen to the album a bunch in the car because I was trying to figure out what people liked about
Something
it.
special.
Yeah, like when they're like, "Oh, I like this," and I'm like, I'm me. I created it, so it's like I don't hear what they're hearing. I need to know what they're hearing so I can understand it.
It's a good album to like be in love to.
Yeah, I think so, and that's what I wanted to create this new album for as well. Because I was like, I purposely wanted to be like really romantic. I mean, I'm an optimist if you can't tell. I like to kind of be in the positive of things, even if something's like not good. Like, still kind of know that you can get out of it. So I was like, I wanted to be romantic and sensual, and just I wanted to feel good, feel positive. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, but creating like when you were saying about what's the difference between creating before and now, I think now I'm just creating to create. Like I feel like I'm just creating it. I'm gonna make sure that the album is sonically cohesive. But I got other songs, if they don't fit on the album because they kind of don't match, I'm gonna put it on an EP. I just like want to just create a lot of music.
Is the passion the same?
I
That's
feel
what
more
I'm
passionate now.
That's why I went back to.
Yeah, I feel actually, because I feel like I was really excited before, but I was really afraid a lot. So whenever anyone would have like an opportunity for me, I would get so anxious about it. Like let's just say if someone's like, "Hey, you're going to perform at the Billboard Awards. You wanted to?" People would be like, "Oh my gosh, it's so great." My first thing would be like, "Oh my goodness, it's so great," but oh no, what am I going to wear? Oh, I want to do a good job. Oh, I kind of don't want to do it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to, but I do, but I don't. Now I'm like, let's do this, because I told myself earlier this year, I was like, that stuff.
So you're with the performing shit again now.
I'm just with no more fear.
Got it.
I'm just with,
I don't know why it sounds like I hear you saying you have a passion now for creating, but to me it's not connecting where you saying you have a passion for the music in the same regard. Like it sounds like you're
creating the music.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is you're just in a space where you just want to create. You just want to be creative, but you're not so much in tune with the passion as far as the regards of the music industry and
No, I'm
what
into
comes
it.
with it. You are?
No, I'm trying to win.
All right.
Hey, fuck all that shit you on, nigga.
Let me be
We
clear.
still trying to win.
Let me be clear. No, because I'm a very ambitious person. So I ain't playing no games.
I get it.
We ain't playing that Courtney knows. Like we ain't playing no games. This time around, I was like, because I had a whole first time around, and again I learned, but I also realized that is art, and the competition is friendly competition because it's art. There's always you're really in competition with yourself, really.
Yeah.
But yeah. There's a lot more like records to break that they have that didn't exist before.
I was going to ask you,
Yeah, I'm
like,
trying to do
what
all
does
that.
victory look like? Is it like Grammys? Is it #1 hits? Is it
World
like
domination.
slap, like classics? What
World
is it?
domination.
World domination.
With love.
Well, I'm with that.
Yeah.
World domination with
I mean, with
love.
whatever that means. And I say that like, I was about to say kidding, but kind of not kidding, but in a way where it's just like, no, I want to, if, when I used to do track, like run track, like if I was second, I was like, I had a mopey face standing on that pedestal with it. And really with music, it's not like there's first, because you could be like, there's so many artists. Once you get to the top 7, everybody's arguing about who's the top 3, So to me, it's just more like, I want to do it, but I want to, I really want to be successful, and I really want to spread the music. I want it to be out there, and there's a lot I want to do. I wrote a book. I want to keep writing a lot, and I want them to all be films and television shows. So there's that.
Published or written?
It's published. So it comes out June 10th. It's called This Is Not a Ghost
Or
Story.
a book comes out with the album.
Well, not with it, but it's just June 10th. Just separate. It's
When
its
did
own
the album
thing.
come out?
The album, I'm thinking summer, fall.
Oh, you said book?
Yeah.
June. All right. I
My
thought you
book
said
is my
album.
novel's
Got it,
coming
got it,
out.
got it. I'm sorry.
And that's coming out June 10th, called This Is Not a Ghost Story.
This is not.
Is
a
it
ghost
fictional?
story.
Yep. It's about a black man who comes from the other side, and he's a curmudgeon,
Wait, the other side of
a misanthrope. So he's a ghost.
Okay.
A misanthrope.
Yeah, he kind of hates people. He
Can you do me a
does.
favor? What the fuck is misanthrope?
It's someone who hates people.
Got it.
So he's like that. So he comes from the
neat.
other side, but he's the first ghost you
Okay.
can see.
Okay.
He hates people. You seem so friendly though. Right now you're not
Mad,
looking like
cuddly,
it,
and
but
warm inside.
The friendliest, as friendly as they come.
Nicest guy in the world.
Yeah,
it's called
please.
This
Big
Is Not a
teddy bear.
Ghost Story. Are you pre-ordering it? Thanks.
gonna say that.
Now you have
Are
to.
you
'cause I'm
pre-ordering the
watching.
album, Ish?
Get both, man.
Is that what you're doing on your Android? Can you do that on the Android? What are your views? What are your views on marriage?
My views on marriage. I think it's beautiful, and I think what's so funny. I feel like there's a story there. Do you want to hear it?
I was just laughing.
Oh,
Kinda.
It
yeah,
is,
there's something.
but
She's very
Yeah,
perceptive.
obviously.
No. Okay.
No, I think it's beautiful. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think if you find the right person, that's amazing. I think most people don't find their one, and I do believe everybody has a person that's for them. But I think, most people don't find that.
Have you been married?
Joe, why I feel like you asking me questions you already know the answers to?
There's a lot of people watching.
Okay. Now, okay. However,
This is
but
why
you,
I
but
laughed.
the way you asked it, it wasn't like you ever been married. No.
This is
have
a
you,
little bit why
have you
I
ever
laughed.
have you ever been married?
No. No,
I'm not
but-
asking you
oh, got
literally
it.
because we're talking about me. No, I'm kidding.
No, I laugh because when you answered, it sounded like you don't believe in marriage. I don't. That's a bad. I don't.
No,
bad
no,
assumption.
no. I'm sorry. No, I mean, let me be clear. I was just joking because I'll answer the question seriously because you derailed me from my joke. But
Don't derail her
I'm
again.
messing with him. No, I do believe in marriage. I'm actually separated right now. I'm going through a divorce now.
Sorry.
But we were together. Oh, thank you so much. But it's
Is it amicable?
It's amicable.
Okay.
I mean,
I
the thing
didn't know
is,
that.
we were
Wait.
you didn't know that? Oh,
I did
yeah,
not know
no.
that.
We
That
were-
makes me look like a bad guy. No, you know what's
I
funny?
think you're a fucking
You know how I
monster.
was going to pose the question? What are your thoughts on marriage and what are your thoughts on divorce?
Oh, okay.
But I had no idea about that.
Oh, that would've been even better.
better. We were together for a really long time. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to say too much about it because he's behind the scenes and not public. So I do believe that even though
We wanna respect
I
that.
know I'm right, but there's two sides to everything. And, I never want to be the one who can vocalize some things and some other person
Yeah.
can't. But we were together for 19 years. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So, it's... And,
That's a long
and
time.
That's a long time, and best friends too. So, but
Where are you emotionally?
That's awesome.
Well, we've been separated since 2023, so emotionally, like in a different place, and it happened slowly over time. So it was not, I guess, like how one would say typically you would imagine stereotypically. It is just very different.
Did you get married young?
Not really. I told you I'm
220 years old. Yeah.
Actually, no.
Okay, so now we're at the point where I was trying to get to. Because I was
Messy.com. Go ahead.
Right.
No.
Go ahead. I'm
It just
listening.
seems that way. That's not what I'm doing. The whole time I'm trying to get to, after the second project,
Okay.
what was happening with the label. Like, that's where I thought
After
the
the
depression
second.
came in. After the second project.
You were so insistent that I was depressed.
You know what I'm saying? But when we call up, maybe not depressed, but I don't know how many albums y'all
I was
Melancholy.
probably I wasn't melancholy. I think jaded would probably be a better, like, I was, because I wasn't melancholy. I was just kind of like maybe annoyed. It was more of that kind of energy, like jaded, annoyed, kind of
Good
feeling.
time to fall in love.
No, actually, no. My ex-husband and I got together after going into the second album. After the first one, I was with him most of my adult life, really. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So that was.
Yeah, we had heard that too.
What? What? What's so funny?
Nothing.
No, you will tell me what you're laughing at.
No, I'm saying because the streets had heard that back in the day.
What? That I was married?
That it was over. It was, that you
Line up, boys.
you were
I'm
with
kidding.
your longtime love and yada yada.
Yeah, we were
yada.
together for a long time.
Does that? I know you're going through your shit, so I don't want to keep asking you about that. But being with kind of one person for most of your adult life,
Right.
is any part of that scary venturing back out, meeting somebody else?
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so I was thinking, like, you know what? Because I haven't, dated. You know what I mean? Like, been separated, divorced, and he's free to date. Or we talk about that. I was like, okay, I can date too. But I was thinking, I think I'm just not going to date anyone. I think maybe until like River's older. I just don't really know. And then I was like, yeah, maybe. But then from what I hear, these streets is kind of crazy. I was like, I don't know. I'm nervous because even when I first came into the industry, my thing was like, I don't know anyone, and I don't know who's like going to try to use me for a notch on their belt. I'm not really trying to be that, and I'm not trying to be like serial dating. So I got to just sit back and observe.
Discipline. Yeah.
And so I was like, let me see. Then I was like, you know what? At this point, my son's, about to be 7. I was like, maybe I just won't date anyone until he's 18. I'll just be like sitting at home, doing that. And then I was like, we're not doing that. No. Then I was like, no. But I went to I actually was like, and I was thinking, I'll never get married again, probably. Not because I'm jaded, but just because, like, I don't know. Maybe I did that.
Been there, done it.
It was like it was my best friend, and I thought that was it. So what am I revisiting? Then I went to like one of my best friend's weddings. So she married in like the fall. So they've been together for 17 years. Both of them have been married before. And so I'm going there to the ceremony. I'm thinking this is going to be great. They've been together so long, it's just formalizing at this point. But as I sat there, I was like, it hit. I did cry a little. I did. That's me. Just a good impression. And what I realized was like, you know what? This is worthy. Like there's something special in this, because as many times as people will be like, oh, it's just a piece of paper, it's really not. I believe that if you really actively don't believe in marriage, like you're a couple who's like, we don't believe in the institution at all, then yes, right? And I would give this, like, I would tell like my girlfriends this. But if you're dating someone that doesn't feel on principle they don't believe in marriage, girl, he just don't want to marry you. That's it. Or to the guy, she just doesn't want to marry you, because I've seen it a couple times where people will be like, "Oh, they don't believe in marriage," and they break up,
and right away
he starts
married
marries
at 9
someone
right
else.
away.
So really, it just depends, right? So when I saw that, I was like, "Wow, they were together 17 years. I've known them together, but this is so beautiful, and I see how it went like this. I saw it at the marriage, and I was like, yeah, and I was like." Yeah, because I do believe that when it's the right person, it will be forever. And so I'm like, yeah, Pollyanna. It's like something out there for me. No, I was like, yeah, I see it. I see it. So I was like, that took me from being like, I'm just not going to date till River's 18. But then I was like, okay, so you would do it again, and I'd be like, I'm going to do it, and it's going to be right. But then I'm like, but there's this dating part, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm like,
It's fire.
because someone was like, you gonna be celibate? And I'm like, no, because I was like, I'm not gonna just be with somebody, right? Unless it's a monogamous, committed relationship. So there's that. And he was like, so celibate. And I was like, no, that's not celibate. I think celibate is like, isn't that when you're married?
What?
Like, I think celibate is you don't do anything until you're married, right?
No, that's abstinence.
No, that's abstinence.
Yeah.
Oh, so what is
Celibate
celibate?
just means
Celibacy just means doing
you're just not
When you're not
fucking.
doing nothing.
Unless you not do anything
Until when?
until
Until
There's
you feel
no,
like
until you feel like
start
doing
doing
it.
something.
It doesn't seem like there's a goal
There is no
Like,
goal.
There is no
It's
goal.
for how. It's however long that you want to do
determine.
it. Yeah.
You determine the length of
Oh,
celibacy.
that's whether I'm not celibate. I just. So what is it? What would you call
You're just
it?
not
when-
getting any.
Celebrate.
No, it's not that. It's I'm just not being going to be intimate with somebody that's not like my monogamous. Like who's my
Right.
man? It's
Right.
He has to be my man.
Got you.
So what is that?
That's celibate.
That's just normal.
This,
That's just standards or something.
That's not okay.
Being selective. It's
so
being
there's that.
selective.
But then it's like,
Yes.
then it's tricky because it's like, if I were to go to dinner with someone, right, then everyone would just think something's going on, and then I can't even get to know the person because we're out. Then if you're like, let's just not do that, because to me, I'd be like, I think I would like to get to know somebody like,
Quietly?
Let's go get some coffee and let's like go hiking or something. Let's go get some coffee, or let's go hiking or something like that. Something that's kind of
like a
not in front of
hiking date.
everybody, but we're like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to go to a nice restaurant and things like that, but I also want to get to know somebody for
Pizza.
real.
Pizza.
Pizza,
Ice
okay,
cream.
like something where you can just be normal and you can kind of like get to know them and kind of see if there's someone you would even want to go to dinner with. Because I'm a person like, if we went to dinner or we went to a movie and we just went out and you like try to feed me or something, I get annoyed. Like,
Feed you?
I would be like,
Do men try and feed you?
like-
a lot?
you mean like
On a first date?
Bring you to dinner, not.
like maybe popcorn or something.
Oh.
I don't know. That's too
I thought you
much.
meant like open up
weird way to
airplanes.
eat
Chocolate mousse.
Something like that.
Say
Like I had to tell someone I can feed myself. Thank you. You know,
On a
yeah,
first
that-
date?
Yeah, it was the first.
Yeah, that's wild.
So
It's a
I was
little
kind of like,
never
seen nobody on a
had a
tip
man
date.
try to-
I've never been fed or fed.
yeah,
about to
I was
say,
like, no, I don't
we're
like
married,
that.
like, we don't feed people.
But you know what? But the thing that's so
got
crazy
kids,
though
you
is, if you like that person,
Yeah.
you be like,
Yeah.
it depends. So I don't know. Like I kind of feel like I'm going into this whole thing like as a 22-year-old because I feel like I kind of don't know what you're supposed to do.
Just ready to go with the wind.
Wait, what?
Ready to just go with the flow.
Well-
Figure it out.
22. Let's just figure out as
But
we
like-
Figure out
go.
where this goes, you know?
Free spirit, man. Free spirit.
Let's just go
Here's
listen to
here's-
some plants.
Go lay in the
Here's-
grass.
here's-
Talk to the trees, yo.
Here's the
let's
advice
just go
that I would
hug the
tell.
forest.
Advice. What's
It's about the
advice?
vibes, man. It's
The
vibes.
advice I would give you, since you seem to be very intentional about
Mister, what do you say?
Yo, pass my phone. Let me get it. You good? You ready to go?
Hey!
I gotta go.
Holy shit. That's fucked up. No, what advice would.
That's fucked up, son. That's fucked up. Y'all here.
That's
Y'all
fucked
getting
up.
disrespectful.
Enough.
Women with
Premature.
voices.
Melissa, what advice
love
would
to
you
give me some
what
advice.
advice would you give Amerie right now?
Yeah.
And this is, yeah, you should.
Your cast is dying to hear.
It would be to be very intentional about what you want. So think about it. Really think about it. And then you know what? Write it down. And just keep adding to it.
I'm not.
Mel,
What do you mean? Like what I want in a guy?
Want to see what I wrote?
Okay. He's like, don't do that.
yeah, I want to see what you wrote.
I know what kind of.
Hey, we do want to see what you wrote.
Is this a nigga
y'all.
vision board?
Wait, you wrote it to somebody?
It's a nigga vision board you got.
Yeah,
Oh,
and she
shit.
texted. It's not in the notes.
Beat it.
Oh,
She told him,
It's
yo,
in the
this
notes.
is the
Do you
blueprint.
This is
do
a
you
text.
date a lot, or are you more like?
No.
Oh, I
Okay.
gotta hear this.
Yes,
I do
yeah.
not.
Don't be intentional.
I was just like, don't be intentional. I kind of feel like I want to be open, but I feel like I do know what I want. I want someone that can make me laugh.
Yo, that is
I
a
want
novel.
someone who's like,
How many things on your list of what you want?
You have good male friends?
Maybe about
I do have
30
30
things.
Like
friends.
really solid male friends. And
Yeah.
then secondly, have those male friends been around?
been around who?
The world. Experience.
Do your male friends get ass?
Have your male friend? Do you have any male friends that are ex whores?
Oh, I don't know. Not kind of maybe. I don't know. I never really
talk to your homeboys.
Oh, he's got a whole healthy friend group.
Talk to your homeboys.
So why? Because are they going to be like?
They'll give
See,
you
I'm
real-
not. Look, here's the thing. Like
They'll
I
give
said,
you really good
I'm
advice.
not a dummy. So you got to remember, when I came in, a lot of people will be like, "Let me help you. Let me do this," and I'm like, "You didn't even hear me. Hear
I'm
my
talking
song."
about
Like,
just consult with your homeboys.
okay, and ask them.
They'll be genuine. They'll be honest. You know what I'm saying? They'll be sincere in
You're
guiding
giving me
you.
all this big brotherly advice right now.
Yeah,
I
that's
see
how
it
he
in your
does-
eyes. They
how
like
he does it.
softened. You're like giving me serious. You're getting serious, kind of like imparting this
No,
knowledge.
hey, do you see the eyes? He doing the shit that he this is how. Go ahead. Go ahead. That's my boy.
Did he lick his lips?
They changed color too. They changed color.
I saw one itch, y'all. I saw one itch, y'all. Go ahead, clear out. You heard what he
Yo,
said.
something's wrong with you, bro. Yo, you are stupid, bro. Something is wrong with you.
And if you need new male friends that have been ex-whores, then, you know what I mean? That give good advice. Then
Don't listen to that
I feel like
shit.
you'd give them some good curmudgeonly. You give some great advice.
I'm a Virgo.
But I'm not planning on even dating a lot because I already said to the universe,
What was that face
do
you
the
just did,
vetting
Mel?
for me.
Huh? Nothing.
I want to know what's on your list.
Please.
Yeah. Now
Yeah,
you
you
want
got faces.
you want to start shooting? Show us that
Since you
list.
like making
I'm not
faces.
shooting at shit.
But let's hear your list, big
Let's see, I
dog.
want to hear the list.
That
I wanna hear
novel.
the list. The novel.
She said it's 30 things on there.
Look, no, this is law. I'm looking at it. Look, you can tell. She,
Hey, yo, Amerie,
that's quite large.
it ain't just one thing on there.
You can tell.
Do not read it out loud.
Wait, no.
We just said you. No.
Okay, all right.
Off the list to do that.
All right, fine. Get back to the fucking mic. I'll read one paragraph.
Okay. Paragraph? No,
Yes,
that's what I'm saying.
it's
It's
a
quite
lot.
long.
Read one
She's
paragraph.
been striking out.
Stop, yo. Stop.
Yes, because there's a lot of trash in the fucking streets, okay? Let's just.
I don't consider them trash. They're just guys
Okay, girl.
on their journey.
Yes.
All right.
Journeyman.
And women could be on their journey.
Everyone's on their journey.
Yes,
Sometimes
that's
you
true.
just meet and then
Everyone's
you
on
just,
their journey.
You're like, hey, you're on this thing, but you, not for me, but I wish you well, and you'll
Somebody's
All right,
on.
Mel.
you'll figure it out.
Come on.
Let's see Mel doing a hookup.
Come on, Mel.
Let's hear
I'm
it, big
reading
Mel.
one of my paragraphs.
All right,
She has
guys.
multiple actually.
Okay.
List of what? Tell me
It's more of like a
Just listen.
dissertation.
Mel was asked. Yeah, just listen.
It's her male vision board.
Just listen.
Emotional maturity is far more valuable than wealth. A man who is emotionally grounded will create a space where you can breathe, where you feel heard and understood, where love isn't a battlefield but a sanctuary. You deserve a man who takes care of your soul, not just your lifestyle, one who gives you effort, not excuses, time, not silence, consistency, not confusion.
Sounds like you just want to stay away from rich dudes.
Not necessarily. Did you not hear my example earlier
Those were
today?
Way to go, Mel.
But you didn't mention hot anywhere in there.
It's in there a little bit. It's in there above. This is what they do.
But I want you to read more because I actually
No, I can't. I'll tell you more.
those were really good.
These motherfuckers are immature as shit. I'm not fucking doing it anymore. I don't know what's so funny. I don't have a clue what is so funny.
Really good.
Thank you.
That was actually really good. I was just wondering where was the hot part.
Well, ask her. Wait, answer that.
And also,
It's in one of the other paragraphs.
do you find humor to be important?
Yes, very
I
much
definitely
so.
feel like I want someone.
Very
that
much
makes
so.
me laugh, for sure.
You just need a good matchmaker. You need like a hookup.
No, I don't want to hook up because the universe has already got me.
What I think.
And I also
Maybe the hookup person is the man. Is the universe.
There's vetting because I don't want to date a lot. I would rather just kind of get it right from the beginning.
That doesn't work that way.
I think that's a mistake.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Practice makes
I
perfect.
think that's a mistake.
Give us some advice, please, Ish.
Okay. I'll take that.
No, seriously.
I'll receive that as
Way
advice.
too much.
Why is it a mistake? Tell us, Pharaoh.
I just think that if you go into it being too intentional,
He always lick his lip before he gives me nice tea.
that nigga tongue falling out of his mouth. Your lips is moisturized, big dog. You
put the shit on your lips.
Yo, you can chill out now.
He put shit and lick his lips. I put lip balm and you lick it. Juicy, nigga.
Yo, they not getting no juice here, big dog. Just give the fucking advice and stop being a jerk.
Yo, you're an idiot, bro. Y'all
Holy
niggas
shit.
I'm here with children, yo.
It's not intentional, like, oh, this is it. But meaning, like, I just don't want to be like this and this and this and this.
I just think you should date to get to know the person. Like, you don't have any.
Yes. Yes.
Yo, I'm looking for my husband right now.
No,
Like,
no,
just
not
date,
that.
get to know the person, see if you guys have things in common, see if you guys can create a synergy before you even think about getting in a relationship.
And you don't know who you are dating right now. I mean,
you've been in a
haven't dated
relationship
anybody
so
as an adult.
long that
I haven't related to anyone as an adult.
You haven't dated anybody as
Anyone
an
as an adult? Not really.
Like, you were the same person for most of your
Yo,
adult.
y'all are letting Amerie put y'all in the spin cycle. If y'all don't think
For real.
that she got a young nigga to text on the late night
Nice
to
YN.
come through.
but she might not.
Knock it the fuck
But he
off.
might only be the come
No.
through nigga. That don't mean he the
I don't.
nigga.
Wait, a come through? What's that? What's that?
It means you got some
Some
a
companionship.
slide.
Companionship without a title.
With what?
With a human. With a,
Like a homie, lover, friend.
no, I'm just saying. No, see,
No,
I'm not
I
even
don't
doing
do
that.
that.
I'm just saying somebody to
Ent-
go to the
someone to
fair with,
entertain
to
you,
watch
yeah.
a movie with, to go eat with, somebody to
She said she
occupy
don't
your
have
time. You
that.
don't have to be fucking them. She already told us she's celibate.
She said she don't
I'm
have
not
that.
celibate. For the record, I don't like that
Oh,
word.
wait, don't auction it off. I'm not celibate.
Let me be clear.
Quit getting money out here. It's action over there.
Celibate sounds, and no offense to anyone who's celibate, but the
Ain't nobody-
one, you're a wordsmith. The word itself is off-putting to me.
Yeah.
It sounds yucky. I don't
Yeah.
know. Celibate. It just sounds like not.
Sounds like you're not getting laid.
No, it sounds, it's got this like cultish
Sound like it's a
kind of
struggle.
thing.
Have you ever heard of an incel?
It's no. What's that?
Oh, Lord.
Now,
What?
that is another hot water topic.
Okay, I just was wondering.
But it's not that. It's just I'm just not intimate with someone that's not my man. That doesn't. I don't think that's
Like
a
with
celibate.
morals.
I just don't think that's celibate though. That's just
It's-
you know.
it's not.
So he has to be. You have to go. Like you guys have to be official.
Yeah, because I don't
Even
want
through
to.
the dating process, that's not official. That's like
No, because then you can just date and you're dating to see if y'all like
Get to
click.
that click, right.
So I don't want to go there and then
Right.
we don't even click.
So let me ask you, in dating to see if
Getting
you,
all this.
Yeah, touch the fuck out
I
of
don't even know
here.
if we click yet.
in dating to see if you click, right?
Yeah.
Before, because there's a stage before, from meeting to somebody to claiming them as your man. Do you believe that sex belongs in that stage? Because if he your man now, he got a 2-inch penis. Now you're gonna be dissatisfied and you tight.
Huh?
What?
Yeah, no, he right.
Wait,
Am I
Wait,
wrong?
okay.
You right.
So you're saying
he said too much.
Okay, you're saying
I said, yo,
2-inch
there's a
penis.
stage.
Oh,
I thought you
that
said
was
too much.
We heard too much penis.
that's what I heard.
We were baffled.
I'm not gonna lie.
I said 2-inch.
That has been a concern.
Yeah. Before you claim somebody as
But
your
here's the
man,
thing. No,
sex is important to women,
I actually
dog.
think I asked one of my girls this question because I was like, "Here's the thing: if you're not my man, we're not going there." Because I don't know. Like one, we're not gonna do that, and then you're kind of like not sure if you want to be really with me, and I'm not sure I really want to be with you. I don't want to do that because that invites other things, like other emotions and again, I'm not just trying to be a notch on your belt so you be like, oh yeah, no thanks, I'm not interested. However, then I was like, I did ask, like, but what if things are not good?
Sexual
to
chemistry
go
is important
there?
for a relationship.
Yeah, I was like, how do you? And I don't know, I haven't figured that out because I haven't been faced with that. But that was a.
Like, how do you find out without finding
How
out?
do you? Yeah, like how do you find
Just ask
out?
for a
Because
pic.
you know,
Dry
we're
hump.
like, hey, we're really, really clicking,
Just
but
ask for a
this
pic.
one
Oh,
thing, it's not gonna work.
Got them loaded.
what you don't do that.
I don't know. That is a concern because, like, how do you find out?
He told you.
Dry
no, I
hump.
didn't hear him.
I was about to say
You
that.
asked for a
Dry
pic.
hump.
Dry hump.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do
so
it.
I-
You get that.
that is a concern, but I don't really know what to do about that.
So you're not with none of that 2-inch shit. Just for the record.
What if he is
I'm
the
a
dude?
very amorous person. I will say that.
What if you got
Amerie,
I have a lot of
nigga.
sexual energy.
What if he got
So
2
it's
inches,
like-
but he's down to talk to the plants?
Didn't you say that this is what after hours?
Asking for a friend.
See?
I don't think that would work.
Okay.
Actually, I'm like, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work because
Sorry, fellas.
I also believe in passion.
You put your rulers away.
You gotta come back.
Hey, put the remote down, fellas. It's over.
Put your hiking boots up. Shit don't matter. Shit don't matter, nigga.
So wait, so Amerie, so that means that on your new song, which I love, I played, it was a sleeper here. So that means that you just kind of freestyling on the new song. The new song is mine, and you don't have anything that's yours. So what was the muse? Or are you just speaking to fruition?
You know, you get a lot of inspiration.
Told you. Tell us about how this song came to be. I absolutely love this record.
Thank you. Like how when Troy and I, like when he played me the track.
And shout out to Troy.
Yeah, Troy Taylor, like the way that we work, like he's basically studied my music for like, he was talking about having like that folder of music for like 20 years. He like deconstructed the songs that I was on, put them all together. Like he knows me vocally very well. And like, so it's a very easy person to work with because I'm going to just vibe to his tracks because he knows what I like, you know what I mean? And the way we work is really he'll just play things. And I usually just like do like a scat melody to something. I'll show you talking to the mic. But yeah, like he'll play it. I'm like, don't let me think about it. I like to freestyle over things. So just let me hear a few seconds, and if that's the thing, you just know to push record, and then I do the melody. And so that's kind of how that came about. But you know,
you don't work with bums.
That's impressive.
Troy is amazing.
She don't work with bums.
No, Troy's.
No, he's dope. And I love to work with like really creative, talented people, of course. But sometimes people are talented and they may not have a name yet. You know what I mean? Like they might just be new. So to me, it's just like wherever the synergy is.
What was the response? What was the reaction when you put this record out? And how did you feel? I know I was really excited.
Thank you. I was excited that you were excited. I really appreciated it when you guys played it.
And what was that thing with the whole not able to purchase at first?
That's why
I'm glad we got to the bottom of that.
Ask. I don't know.
I tried to purchase the
on
track.
iTunes, and they were like, "It's on Apple. It's on." I was like, "But is iTunes separate?" I don't know. I don't
they
use
have to
iTunes.
put it available for purchase as well as stream.
Oh,
Apple
okay.
Music and iTunes
are
But
separate.
I kept trying. I buy music. I'm not with that streaming shit. So in her song, it wasn't
my
available.
day, we had buy albums.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay. I appreciate that.
But it is available for purchase now. How did you feel about the reception?
I felt really good. I mean, it's weird because when you make the music, you don't really know how people are going to receive it. That wasn't the first thing that people heard. Like my first like feeling of like, oh, how do people feel about this music was when we put Undeniable out, and I knew you had DM'd me, and that was the first thing that people heard of anything like this whole time. And we just recorded it, I think that day, and then put it up on IG, just like, hey, here's a taste of what we're doing. We'll just play it for y'all. I was so shocked at the reception. So that was my first, since we put mine out, but it was like official. But when we did like a teaser, that felt like my first reaction to stuff. I remember like we played it, and I was thinking that people would be like, oh, she's back in the studio, like cool.
No,
like,
people were
all
excited.
right. And there was like such an overwhelming positive response. Like, not gonna lie, I was like sitting on my stairs and I cried. Aww. I was like, wow, that felt like I wasn't expecting that.
She's a crier like me. You cry a lot.
No, I don't actually cry a lot. I usually cry like maybe once every 2 years about something. You cry more than that?
Yeah.
What?
That's good. But you know what? I think that's good because you got to let it out.
Same.
You got to let it out.
I'm not ashamed of it. Fuck them.
No, you should. No, you got to let it out. You got to. It's okay. It's good to cry, actually.
And it's good to know that I cry
just
more
don't.
than Amerie. All right.
Yeah,
Left myself on a ledge.
I just don't.
You never
that
cry
much.
with the trees though.
But I did. But I did, and that felt good. I feel like actually, like even, I know I've got a lot of love from people, and I definitely feel like I'm getting a lot of flowers. You know what I mean? Like I definitely feel like people are wanting to hear music. They're wanting to hear more music, and they're feeling like really positive. So that, as an artist, that feels good. Because sometimes as an artist, you just don't know if people care. It's easy to feel like people don't actually.
Can I ask, is Troy doing a lot of the records on the project?
Yeah, we have like a really good synergy. So far, I feel like it's gonna probably be about half the album.
Dope.
You know what I mean?
And I also want to ask you, Do you have a lot of friends in the
You
industry?
asked your question so seriously, which I appreciate.
Well,
It's like
'cause
it's
they don't-
almost.
I try to be serious, and then they don't take me serious. So when
That's
you get a
good.
guest who takes me serious, I try to take advantage.
I'm taking you very seriously.
Thank you.
Yo, put
And
your
he-
regular
and-
voice
and-
on, my nigga.
Wait, and he's an R&B singer. He sings better than Sade.
Oh, okay. You sing?
He's been in the business for a really long time.
I didn't.
Wait, Mark.
She hit him with Johnny Drama.
He came out when you came out.
Right? Hey.
No, I didn't.
I know so.
She's like, oh, you're in the business.
Yes,
You're an
he
aspiring
sings.
artist.
Yes, he sings. He's an amazing singer too.
No, I mean,
Writer, producer, arranger. Stop
now
playing
we
with
got
my
it.
boy.
We got it. Now we here.
He's very talented.
We here. No, I was just asking. Do you have any industry friends, like people that you kind of?
And do you want some?
Not really. Not really. I mean, some that are really, like really dope. We see each other, but like when we cross paths, I might reach out to every now and then, but not. When you say friends, you mean like go out, like eat, hang
that you
out, go to
keep up
movies,
with.
or you just mean like touch base with, hey, how's everything doing? Just saying what's up, like that, or like hanging out.
Actually, people that you actually connect with, build with, keep in contact with, hang out with.
Not really. No, not really. Some that are almost like that. But not really. Like my circle is probably really small. You know what I mean? And I was like, actually, I might widen it a little bit. I thought maybe I'll do that, but not too much. But no one was even thinking that. Now that's all I see.
Pausing Amerie is fire though.
That is crazy. That's some wild.
Everybody gets it.
That's absolutely
It was just after the earlier conversation, it felt like an appropriate pause.
You're getting
Sorry.
so red. Are you feeling embarrassed?
I am.
He just white.
He just white.
Yeah. So, but I my thing has always been like I'm always just like being easy. Like, let me just take my time because I don't want to like. Again, it's just like a really, I guess, like a precautionary measure to just make sure. Like, I want to just make sure I have stability and I don't like feel like I'm floating away. Like this industry, I can see how easy it is to like get like that.
Lose yourself.
To lose yourself. I see it, like how easy it can be. And so for me, I'm always just like, yeah, you just want to just be careful.
So what is that family that keeps you grounded?
Probably my family, and like I said, the friends that I have. It's like my girl that I saw get married. She's known me since I was like 19, 20. You know what I mean? One of my best friends. We met when I was 13. You know what I mean? So, and then we touch base and we keep in touch. And there's other people that I know, like maybe my son's school, and they become like family friends, kind of like that. But for the most part, I definitely feel like I definitely want to, like I said, widen the circle a little bit more because I am really social. But I just also want to make sure that it's real.
Genuine.
Like whoever I'm hanging out with, even if they're in the industry and stuff like that, that they're real.
I feel like that's a hard thing. Like,
Everyone's real though.
you can't be guarded and
I feel like that's a
not
baseline.
guarded at the same time. Like
Yeah, so it's like it's kind of
kinda-
like letting my guard down a little.
it
I
goes into the
normally-
dating conversation too. It's like kind of the same conversation. Like
Well, I don't have my guard up when I'm dating people. I usually don't have my guard up. Period. I don't usually go into.
Protected by the universe.
I'm protected by the universe. So I don't move through the world like this. It's just more like keeping my circle small because if I'm like, you can go to someone's house and they'll be like, that's my girl, that's my girl, that's my girl. Don't tell her this though, because she'd be like, oh, I tell her this. Do you want to tell? No, don't tell her that because she actually be hating. See, if you come to my house and you see me with my girls, you can say whatever because these are my people. Like there's no like hierarchy of the friendship because they're all real and they're all like fam. So it's like that. But I'm not like guarded. Like I wouldn't go into a date, even if someone was like, oh, like, watch out for that person because they're this. I'm like, I'm gonna give them a chance because maybe they're different or changed, different, or just like you never know. Like
different chemistries working
if
different
you
ways.
just go in like this, I feel like it's kind of like negative a little bit. Just go in, take it as it is, and then you figure out what it is. But
I have a few questions I need to get out before we let you go. You ever skydive?
no, and I thought about it, but I feel like it's a really dumb way to die, though.
That's a fact.
Agreed.
And rapid fire.
not
So if anybody
misoptimistic.
has questions,
If
please.
it's meant, though, it's meant. But it's just like, I feel like if I did that, I have to talk to my parents. Because you can't just do that and just have parents alive and be just doing something like that, I think.
Speaking of parents, what did motherhood teach you about yourself? What did it amplify in you? What did it bring out of you?
Having, like, my number one, the biggest thing was when I had River, I felt like I always was like love for people and like understanding like that you love everyone because we're not that we're all the same, but we really are one, like, right? But I felt like when I had River, like some people say like all their love went in this way, like, oh my goodness, this precious child who's precious, right? It's like all my love went in there. And I felt like that happened, but it was like it went in and out. So it was like I felt like, oh my goodness, he's so precious. And then it made me realize the preciousness in everyone. Like, so when I see people like that are, you know, our age or like elderly or just young adults, whatever, even, I feel like I see them as children. Like I see how precious they are. So it's like I can look at you and say, oh, like I see you and like I love you, like because you're precious. Like you're special, and everyone is equally precious. Everyone is equal. We are all one. And just as much love as I have for my son, and as much as I feel like he deserves all that like love that I give him, and I would want him to go out in the world and get that, I feel like that everyone deserves that. So I try to relate to other people that way too. I'm January.
What? Capricorn or Aquarius?
I'm a Capricorn sun, Aquarius rising, a Pisces moon, but all my fire signs are fire, and I'm a 11 life path number. But if you go by my date that's on the internet, it's not right. You won't know it. I'm an 11.
You're an 11.
Any plans to tour?
Which makes sense, probably, if you think about it, than what we were talking about.
Any plans to tour?
I am. Oh, wait, I can't announce the thing yet. Did they announce that yet? Do you
Probably
know?
not.
Okay. I can't
All right,
announce
sorry,
it.
y'all.
This-
Can't announce
but
that
I'm
one
going
yet.
with somebody in it, but we can't announce it.
Got it.
Mark, did you have a final question?
Just wanted to salute you, and I've said this to you privately, but in the last year and a half, because you were talking about everybody's life mattering, you've been so vocal.
Well, you always are. You know.
Yeah, but that's my job to be. Like, you've taken risks that other people haven't taken as artists to speak out what's going on around the world, what's going on in the Middle East, what's going on in other places. And I just wanted to commend you and say it's so valued. And you have a whole new group of people around the world that love you and admire you and appreciate you for what you're doing. So just thank you. That's all.
Thank you. I
think that's
appreciate
a
that.
great
That's
note.
my duty. I don't feel like I got to really thank for that, but
No, a lot of
thank you,
a
though.
lot of artists were afraid to, speak to the truth of, the situation.
Right. See, no one's even saying it now. That's how scared we are. We just keep saying the situation.
All right, listen, this has been, and give it up, Amerie! I got y'all.
I don't want our conversation to end. I love hanging out with y'all. And I was going to say, that's what I didn't get to say, and we're going to save it for the thing, right? But I was going to just say, like, I was so excited to come, because I told you when we were over there, I was like, I'm going to sit there, I'm like this, but inside I'm like, I watch y'all, and I feel like it's such a great, it's an iconic show. Like, this is an iconic show.
I appreciate it.
Dope vibes.
Thank you.
And I could just hang out with y'all all day. And that's what I was going to ask too. Have y'all ever, I don't know if y'all did this or not, have you ever considered doing like a sleepover version of this, but with like multiple guests?
Well, Amani's tried it. It ended rather abruptly.
I know he's
And
playing
everyone
around.
stays like, it's all night, all day. Everyone's in like their pajamas. And it's like, it's almost like a stream, but like you just have it just go and go, and you got different artists and different guests, and everyone's just sitting down with no shoes on.
No,
and kinda like, no.
That's a great idea, and I floated it in my head before, but that is a great idea.
Because here's the thing too, not trying to like, I don't want to like throw people under the bus, but you get a lot of people to talk a lot like that, because once people get really, really comfortable, they might end up saying some things that they wouldn't otherwise say, or like open up because they're just in their pajamas and their socks and everything's comfortable. So I feel like it could be interesting.
That's true.
Ain't a bad idea.
Well, we will keep you in mind.
I definitely would love
If we
that.
ever do the sleepover, our door is forever open for you. Feel free at any time. Feel free to come back to promote the book. When the album is dropping, album coming soon this fall, hopefully. The book is June 10th. Name of that book?
This is not a ghost story.
Where can we find Amerie on socials?
At Amerie on Instagram. That's most of it. At Amerie's Book Club too. At Amerie's Book Club and at Amerie. And I'm on YouTube. I think it's Amerie on
It felt
YouTube
really
or
good
something.
seeing you again.
Yeah.
You are definitely who I would want to sage my apartment.
Oh, no question.
I would definitely do that. I would definitely do that for you. I would definitely
Do you
do
have dream
that.
catchers?
Only one that it was like a gift. It was one that was a gift. But that's what I was going to say earlier about totems. I think I didn't finish that thought. But I think it is important, though, that like even like if we're like wearing crystals or if you're like, I got dream catchers, or I got this. Oh, I did say that. It's important to remember that the power is within. You don't need anything else.
Word.
True.
As long as you got that connection, you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Amerie.
I didn't even want that to end. I had so much fun with you guys.
Yeah, no, that was awesome.
Amazing.
That was absolutely great. Savannah Ford.
Yes. Anthony Budden.
I like those shades.
Thank you.
They're nice.
Thanks.
Do I need to get my shades? I can't tell with y'all.
Yes. Absolutely. Bow wow.
But I'm feeling the temperature in the room feels like I should, right? Yeah. Why leave anything to chance, right?
That's true.
Yeah, Paul, please help me because y'all so
That was a fun interview.
That was
Great
great. That was
interview.
Mm-hmm.
She was
So
amazing.
so many gems.
So many.
Amerie is great, has always been great. Always remember her sister, her family, the people she was around being great. She never came up in any of the dating rumors or any of that bullshit. Like she was always like a protected species.
That's true.
Back then.
Never really heard no smut.
Yeah, never no smut. You never heard bad
bullshit.
things about Amerie. So to see her have that same brightness and that same that was so refreshing.
Yeah.
That was a refreshing interview. She was giving me, like I kept thinking like Janae Aiko vibes, but looking at Amerie, even though her time was what it was, there's like a family tree.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
She's kind of somewhere at the top of with the airy, breathy, pretty Hawaiian looking, hip hop infused, right?
Shorts, legs.
Yeah.
That little
Would you say?
time.
Would you say go?
That video was dope. Like that video was a summertime video. Like,
She had other
It was.
videos,
but that's the one.
that's the one. Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Where do y'all want to start now that it's just us here, family?
Well, I just want to say first, like I loved the level of engagement and participation from all of you all of us. I thought it was really interesting. I mean, Flip, who usually bolts out the door when he has the opportunity to leave, like we all do, was good enough to hang here and smile and stare for a solid 20 minutes.
Real close, right?
I took a couple pictures and go in our group chat. Cause I put on my phone to take pictures. I was like, he looked like a whole creep right here. I was like, he just kept popping up from under the couch. Like, you rang. I was like, what the fuck is with this nigga, man?
Like a whole creep.
He did go from going, I'm about to get the fuck
gotta get the fuck out of here.
To over there to here.
Right.
Different when you smell that perfume in the hallway.
Yo, he ran to fix the mic. He did the same,
Yeah,
just like the
yeah.
Bernice shit. He ran over. He ain't never fixed the mic in his life.
You don't fix his mic.
Right.
That was great. I got to see my good friend Mel turn into Dear Abby.
That's true.
Yeah.
Dear Mel.
Yeah, dear Mel.
Dear Melly.
Dear Melly.
Found out you have a list. That's pretty exciting.
Can we hear one more?
No.
Well,
I'm so
No.
interested.
not even like a
It's
hint.
not really even a list. It's kind of
It
like
was
just.
mad paragraphs in there.
You said you had 30 things.
Well, I mean,
Jesus.
if you, it's not really like a 1, 2, 3 kind of thing. It's not like listed and
How many paragraphs?
numbered.
It's just
That
30.
shit was
It's just
poetic.
30 things.
4.
That shit was lyrical.
4 paragraphs.
4 paragraphs.
It's a lot of words.
Yeah.
We
4
can't hear at least one
Mel
other
Kwan.
paragraph.
You literally just.
What if we
heard,
write
like,
it for her? If we write it, will you nod in agreement?
I wanted to just let me read one of them with my voice.
Oh, that's a good dramatic reenact. Yeah.
That'd
You
be
doing the
dope.
Joe voice?
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll let you guys mock me a little bit.
Nah, we ain't gonna mock you. We
I'm
love
not
you.
gonna mock you.
It's fine. It's
'Cause
fine.
We're not gonna mock you.
There's nothing funny about looking for love, especially when
And you know what you're looking for, so
and especially when
you ahead of the
moving
game.
with intention.
All right.
You know how many out here flying blind? They have no idea what they're looking for. Just hoping they
Exactly.
stumble into it.
Right. You got a roadmap.
You can read that one.
I don't know. If
Green
you
Book.
Which one?
The middle, the big
That
one.
The big one.
Oh shit! See?
What you said?
Just let him
sorry.
get his shit off.
Come on,
Give
Joe.
him the voice. Come on.
He want to laugh right now.
No, I have a question just from the first sentence.
What's your question?
You got to read it.
You got to read it.
Let me hear his question. Go ahead.
In your best male voice.
I'm going to read it, and then I'll tell you my question after I read it. And I'm not doing a male
It was Wookin' Panub.
Wookin' Panub in all the wrong places. Wookin' Panub.
We old. Yo. It's not Eddie Murphy. Y'all niggas are stupid. Y'all niggas are stupid.
I had that shit run through my head all
yo.
the fucking time.
Oh, man. We old.
Oh, great. He's got a song.
We got to properly soundtrack
He's queuing up a song.
this event.
I can't wait to hear
Oh,
which
it's gonna be
song it
great.
is.
Let me hear what he got.
All right. I can't believe I forgot
What's the shit with Queen Latifah and them?
How could I not have that
I be
song?
missing.
Which one?
That one.
And where's my phone at? I am a mess. Oh, here it is. All right, here you guys go. Who's ready? Who's ready? Who's ready?
Let's go. Let's go.
Streets was ready.
Oh, so there's no song?
No, I'll play a
Okay,
song.
all right.
He doesn't need millions in the bank,
This has been a theme.
but he needs the kind of character that makes you feel safe, emotionally and mentally. The kind of man who steps up for you and keeps his word. A man who carries a sense of responsibility for the woman he loves. Because a man who truly provides doesn't just pay bills, y'all.
That's true.
That's a fact.
He brings you peace. He protects your heart.
Peace is priceless.
He respects your mind. He considers your emotions.
Yes. Well,
He listens. He values. He stays consistent. You never have to second guess where you stand with him because his actions are loud, even when his words are few.
Bars.
no, that's bars.
That's solid work.
Man.
Still more reliance on the not rich part.
Yeah.
Yeah, why do you keep writing that?
Because I've dated a lot of rich men.
Yeah. You trying something different?
Have you tried the Porsche yet?
Yeah.
How did that work out?
Which one was better? Better cry in a Honda or a Rolls Royce?
Right.
I don't want to cry anymore. There's that. You know what I'm saying? So it's it could be like just somewhere in the middle.
Has it been any better? I asked that because I've had other people tell me that, you know, like I remember Delicious was saying, what?
Keep going.
She was saying that.
What Delicious said?
I remember Delicious saying
Yeah, I remember Delicious said a lot.
Was
This is Flavor of Love
this-
Delicious, or
yo,
this is
Raymond Delicious?
Delicious?
Flavor of Love Delicious.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know the other Delicious.
Okay.
It's
And
the
watch
same
your
one.
fucking
You do
mouth.
realize
Delicious
this.
is a
It's the
friend
same
of
Oh,
girl.
they're making a
Fuck with
joke.
Delicious.
Oh, you said Santana. I got it. I caught it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so before she met Santana, shout out to him. She was saying like, you know, all I dated was these rich niggas, and you know, and all they did was cheat on me. She said then I dated a mailman, and he cheated on me. I just didn't have no money. You know what I mean? So it was like this saying like that she didn't have any better experience. She just didn't have no money either. And I was wondering if that was your experience.
Yeah, I mean, money and station in life does not prevent a man from cheating.
Were you happier with the poorer guy?
Do you see my current circumstances?
Happier, not happy. Did you get any
No.
different outcome? Okay.
No, you are. You are right about that one thing. It is better to cry in a
serious.
fucking
Cry in mansion,
Bentley,
right.
yeah, and a mansion.
Be serious for a minute.
Yeah,
Man,
rather than a
always.
fucking Honda.
Y'all say I'm too
Yeah,
serious.
sure. But then that, you know, like the private jets and like the bowling alley, that shit just kind of gets old.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, you take your fucking helipad and your fucking indoor pool and go suck your own dick.
So you want a flexible man too.
Limber.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah. You know.
But isn't it good to meet the men that steer you to know exactly the kind of man that you want because they've been so not satisfactory?
Yeah, I mean, like you date a lot of don't wants, so you know what you do want.
Every loss is just a lesson.
Yeah, but then also in the people that you date,
Mad losses out there.
Mad lessons out there, Joe.
yes,
Nigga's a
and yes.
lesson now.
PhD.
Hey, don't make me make you a lesson, boy.
But you also realize things about yourself along the way.
Sure.
You know, and you realize that sometimes you might not be the best person to date.
Not for that hell, man. Hey, not for that lesson, boy. Yeah, throw them niggas back to the curb.
Have you learned that about yourself?
Find what we really want.
At one point, yeah.
What made you so bad to date?
Emotional unavailability.
What else?
Well, there was a point in time where I was kind of crazy. Like in terms of like my anger and rage.
When was that?
That's what the lesson dude
Y'all
said.
didn't know me during that time.
Oh.
That was when I kept going to jail.
That's what the lesson dude was saying. The lesson dude is telling the streets that.
Oh yeah.
Have you?
Okay. Well, he's got his side. I got mine. That's that.
Have you ever considered? The reason I ask is a couple of my homegirls do matchmakers.
Oh yeah.
And one of the things the exercise the matchmaker has is to have you go back to the people you dated and ask them what your best and worst traits were. So that you can kind of compile these things and get a sense. Have you ever asked people you dated like what their experience was with you in terms of like what best and worst? Okay. Did they give you the same answer, emotional availability and stuff like that?
No, because it was like different times. So like, you know, if I'm gonna talk to like a boyfriend that I was with, you know, when I was like 22 to 25 or some shit like that, then you know I'm like
You're a different person.
I'm a different person then. So
No, we
there's-
talking about like these niggas from this year. Like, why you go all the way to 22, 25?
I mean,
We talking about some of the niggas that knew you this year
From
and said that
2022
you are bad
to
shit.
2025.
Bad today, not 20. Yo, I just seen this chick. She was bad shit crazy. Like, what do you say to those guys out there?
well, I can't really ask them because they don't.
But they don't say it to your face.
Well, no, because they didn't last long enough to be worthy of having
Conversation.
To even
to
know
have that
me that.
conversation, to even know me that well.
Okay.
You
They
know,
don't even know you really.
so
They
yeah.
just knew what you showed them.
That's true.
I mean,
What was she showed
not
them?
even really.
I mean, know what they showed her.
Fell
Drop
for that.
off. Drop
Wrap
them
that
niggas
nigga up.
I mean, look,
She's not sitting in 37B.
fuck you, Fox. But that is a fact. I am not sitting in 37B. No.
I hate why y'all do that.
What?
Because you were willing to sit in 37.
No,
Not
fuck,
just that,
I was
for the
not.
right
And it
nigga.
contradicts
100.
what she just wrote in her page.
And it does.
That's
No,
true.
I wasn't.
Uh-oh.
It totally
Big freeze.
No, I
No,
wasn't.
don't do that.
I
Well,
wasn't.
that's true.
She
For
said,
the-
What do you say to that?
even a poor man
That's
can
a
put her in
great
first
point.
class.
That's not true.
No, that's not true.
No, I'm saying that's what she. I'm joking. Good.
For the right nigga, you'll sit in 37B.
No, truth be told, if I was dating somebody who didn't really have those kinds of means and he bought me a plane ticket and it was Coach, I'd probably upgrade myself if I felt like I needed to do that.
Makes sense.
But you would sit in that middle seat in the back of coach for the right person.
But why does it have to be the back of the plane in the middle fucking seat? Why?
17A.
Because you just wrote down that you was tired of the rich niggas
Yeah,
and the
17
millionaires.
is fine.
Okay.
Give me an exit row window. I'm good.
Or an exit.
But he getting you the last. This is some last
Your
minute
exit row,
shit,
right?
and that's all. We know what's available at the last
Shit
minute.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's like
Absolutely.
long distance or something.
Yeah, long
and
distance. And it's last
second,
minute,
that's the
and
only
I
thing
need
that's
to see you, and this is
available
what
yet.
I got.
No
I
big
got you
deal.
38B.
Yeah, no. Stop with the middle seat.
And don't
This
chime in.
shit
That's
is-
really where she draws the line.
Right. That's the line.
And I
I
actually respect
I
that.
feel like
That middle
everybody
seat
draws
is some
the
bullshit.
middle
I
seat
ain't gonna
sucks
hold you.
ass.
Oh, it does.
The middle seat's the worst.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
That's all these tall people saying that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that motherfucker typing and reading and eating and shit. Doing stretches, right?
But also,
I never even noticed.
but also, like my tolerance level for shit is like it's very
This
very
thin
very
now.
it's extreme.
But do you have to
Yes.
be tolerant for that type of stuff?
No,
I'm asking.
I'll give you an example. No, I'll give you an example of what I mean by tolerant or not tolerating something. So you meet somebody, it's an initial attraction. It's like okay, and then you agree to go out on a date, and you know you talk and stuff like that, and shit seems to be like off to the races or whatever, and it's cool. And then you just notice that this person's style of communication just really does not like align with yours.
Start seeing shit that's funny about this dude.
Well, no, I will stop the fucking show for that. Like,
I know.
Would you express it first?
Yes, 1,000%. I will tell them what my expectations are in terms of
communication.
Like communication. I'm not here to be your fucking pen pal. Like I'm just not. I'm not doing that. If
Yeah,
text,
you could text all day with them other bitches.
Text is new. That's
that ain't. We ain't in
that's
some.
though.
That's some kiddie shit.
yeah, no, but when
like
you're
children do.
yeah, but when you're like in your mid to late 40s,
like 41,
and that's how
29,
and that is no. And that's how your primary like source of communication. Then that's just not work. That's not going to work for me.
You got to throw that nigga to the streets.
And
that makes sense.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah,
and not feel bad about it either. Deuces.
Yeah, exactly. It's like no harm, no foul. I don't
it was
know
fun
you.
While whatever it was.
I don't know you. You don't know me. Nothing even happened. I expressed one thing that is it's a deal breaker for me. We don't even need to go any further past this moment.
That's true.
Yeah. What are your deal breakers?
That's like one of
Yeah, right.
like high. I don't even want to say like poor hygiene because that's like duh, you know. But just inattentiveness, like on purpose. You know, there's just like a real casual inattentiveness. Lack of like it just kind of shows like a lack of care and a lack of.
So you wouldn't get well with a nonchalant type of person that just
No, nonchalant.
like they don't give a fuck.
But nonchalant is being nonchalant is different. You know what I mean? You can be nonchalant, cool as a fan, like fucking laid back, and you know what I'm saying. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't show care. You know, and an intention. You know what I mean? That's you can be nonchalant. Huh?
You good?
Yeah, burp. I don't want to burp.
Oh, got it. Please.
You can be nonchalant and still be able to like, you know, be intentional about planning dates. You know what I mean? That doesn't necessarily.
That's true.
That one thing has nothing to do with the other.
Right.
And so that also is indicative of interest. Here's the thing: you will show me in a myriad of ways your interest or your lack thereof.
Question.
Yeah.
When interest is shown, do you reciprocate?
Well, yeah, that's the point.
No.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure.
A lot of women will hesitate and like they'll be like, yo, you got to be persistent. I got mad dudes out here on me, blah, 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 blah.
No.
So they'll be kind of a little bit more apprehensive in reciprocation because they want the dude, like they want to feel like you earning me.
They want the chase.
Yeah,
No,
like
that's
I've had a bunch of my female friends tell me that, like, yo, dog.
at
the
this
dude-
age?
And I'll be like, yo, y'all sound crazy.
at this age.
I promise you.
Yes.
I promise you.
I'll say this: I don't come across that. The women that I know that are, you know, single and, you know, looking for somebody, they are extremely direct. Very, very direct about what they want, what they don't want, what they're looking for, and what pleases them and displeases them. They're very, very, very direct. And I am too, like, about that stuff. Like, I don't really want there to be, like, any stone left unturned or you have any confusion, you know? So, yeah.
Well, we love you, and if there's anything that we can do as your brothers to help in your journey, then we're here for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Like, do you have any guy friends that are like brothers? Sorry, it's a callback to Ish's Amerie advice.
No, not really. Kind
That's
of.
us.
Yes. Yeah, a few, but they're spread out. You know what I mean? So I guess it's like a phone call or
Okay.
whatever.
Let me piggyback off his question. You got any guy friends, like brothers, that you would listen to their advice?
And
Yeah.
since you guys ignored a perfect close, let's not spend too much
Oh,
time
all right.
hyper-focusing on
Never
Melissa
mind.
That's true.
Ward's
Yeah.
love life and her
True.
Yeah, because they hate
outdoor
that.
Get out of there.
experience.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
Yeah, we can get out of there. Yeah.
Get out of there.
Right?
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
Just trying to look out.
No, please,
No, no, no.
absolutely.
Just trying to look out.
Where do you want to go?
Um.
You want to go to feminism where they were fucking eating me up in the fucking streets?
Oh, see, finally, yes. Okay. All right,
Okay.
we're back on Mel.
Well, not really. Honestly, I
We're
wish.
back on Mel.
No, I wish Flip was still here
Me too.
because there was a conversation. You know, when I went over to Ian's house and Flip was there and his wife and his mother-in-law were cooking. I was making the joke that, you know, Flip was standing there in the kitchen waiting for his plate to be made. You know, and okay, whatever goes on in your household, but whatever. But because I was making that observation, I got accused of being.
Wait, you made more observations.
Oh, please go on. I
Well,
don't
you
remember.
were there. I wasn't there.
What exactly did you say, just for context?
I honestly don't really remember. I just remember us like talking.
Sometimes the devil's in the details.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm calling Flip.
Yeah. So I definitely said, that he was like waiting for his plate to get made. And then we talked about the fact that Ian and Jules really were trying to clean up after his wife and mother-in-law. And I was like, you can't do that with Caribbean women. They're going to tell you sit the fuck down. This is part of the whole experience of making a meal. They're going to clean up
I know when
afterwards.
you want me to hit
Go ahead.
call.
Flip and answer your call, man.
100%. 100% is answer my call.
Shit.
Or
Joe, you all right?
I'm good. I'm good.
He's like, you never called me before.
You think I'm in an emergency? Yo, real quick, we're having the feminist conversation with Mel about whatever she said to you when y'all was at Ian House doing the duck curry.
Yes.
She can't remember exactly what it was that she said to you to spark this conversation. So I'm calling to find out what exactly was said.
As far as what?
Feminism.
About no, because she moved it to feminism.
About the
But she
plate.
was about making the plate, cleaning up.
Oh, Ian asked me online, not online. Ian asked me.
Yo, just come back to work and tell us, yo. Come back.
I'll come back right now.
Come back right now then.
I bet one.
Okay, cool. All right, so we'll put a pin in it.
I just shot that out there joking. If he really come back, that's kind of lit.
No, that means we gonna be here another 2 fucking hours.
No, he
No,
just
they-
He's close.
he don't live far.
We will not be here another 2 hours.
He's close.
And if we did, what's wrong with that? Part
Shit,
of the
he
month.
might be downstairs.
Hey, Mark, I get paid.
Hey, part of the month. Is that a problem?
I get paid by the pod, not by the hour.
Oh,
Mark is a dick. Yeah, so let's table that for a second.
Damn, I have to agree that fast.
I believe that Flip will be here in 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops.
Should have told me Marie was still here.
She was asking for
text
him.
him. Text him that she's asking for him.
No, so we can talk about something else in the meantime, because I think your rabbit about to get cooked.
I'm not. It's actually not.
And if not, I'd love to be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, like
I'd love for it to go the other way.
All I literally have to do
But
is.
when you said that
Yeah.
and they got on your ass, I mean, I ain't married, so I ain't think of it. But I was like, interesting way to look at that.
But here's the kicker. Is I've never had a problem making a plate for anybody that I've been in a relationship with. That was not like the funny that I was making. It was that Flip was standing in the kitchen like Winnie the fucking Pooh, waiting like a child for his wife to make the plate. Like it just, the whole appearance of it was funny to me.
And a lot of people read that as you being uneasy with, as they put it, wives doing wifely things.
Yeah, of course they're going to say that because they're committed to misunderstanding me. That's why.
Is there any merit to that could also come off wrong?
I mean, sure, if that's the way that you want to read it, but I think that the delivery was very lighthearted. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, at what point are y'all going to figure out when I'm being funny and telling a joke and just kind of participating and keeping the energy light up here? Or are you just going to keep like accusing me of all of these random stupid
I think
things?
I think the part that where because that is true.
Mm-hmm.
The part when you told him you sent him to open the wine because you said I had to find something for you to do, basically.
I was.
I get it.
You
I
know,
know-
again,
we know you
keeping it
joking.
light, but I could have gotten up. You know why he went to get the wine? Because of where he was sitting at the table.
It's closest.
Where I was sitting at the table, I was basically blocked in. Like me and Ian were sitting, and then the walls behind us, and then everybody, and it was just kind of tight. So that's the only reason why he got up to get the wine. But of course, we create narratives and funny. You know, we add special sauce to the stories to make them funny. Like the joke isn't funny when you got to fucking explain it, people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I agree
So
I agree.
yeah, just
100%.
yeah, like give me a break. Just give me a break and let me just be funny sometimes. So it wasn't that I had a problem with women doing wifely duties. Like that's just fucking weird. If you want to make your husband a plate, make him a fucking plate. I'll do the same thing. I have no problems with that. I actually like to do that if I'm with somebody in that kind of circumstance, you know?
When you say like to do it, like meaning like you'll do it sometimes, or you feel like that's your job to do?
No, I don't feel like it's my job.
Well, not maybe job's too heavy.
Do you do it unprompted?
Yeah, like
Absolutely.
Like, do you make the assumption you're getting the plate for him?
Yeah. I mean, it's not even an assumption. It's just going to be something that I want to do.
Gotcha.
Yeah. If I'm up and, whatever, you're like talking and shit like that, what do you want on your plate? Or sometimes I won't even ask because I know what he likes to eat, what he doesn't like to eat. So
Like mac and cheese.
Yeah, exactly.
And you don't feel like you promising us mac and cheese belongs in this conversation.
No, but I know you're going to make it about that. And you know what? I'm going to make that fucking
Because I feel like, because they're cousins.
When are you going to make the mac and cheese? I like dates.
Never.
Let's make it concrete. That way we know when it's going to happen. Today is May, whatever. It's the first week in May.
Let's get something concrete from Melissa Savannah Ford.
Yeah, when? Let's put it like this. People will be watching this on May 7th. Can you say that on May 21st, this gives you 2 weeks?
Oh, please.
No. I believe in Mel. On May 21st, this mac and cheese will be prepared.
I think you got to do it like while it's still fresh on the brain.
Yeah.
The week before.
So next week.
Yep.
Okay. We got this on record. May 14th, as y'all are watching this.
That's never meant anything at this broadcast. Having something on record, recorded,
Yeah.
No, but
written in stone.
Here's the kicker.
That's your cooking.
This is how much I believe in Mel. And Mel, just trust me here as your advocate.
Yeah.
If Mel doesn't make this mac and cheese, she will reimburse everybody their cake money.
Oh no, that's out.
You name 2 things that's not going to happen.
Something's got to give. Something's got to give.
Mark, it's not happening.
I believe in Mel.
I understand that.
No, you don't. No, you
potty.
don't.
I believe in Mel.
You're doing that thing
Okay.
you do, but it's fine.
I believe in Mel. I think she's gonna come in with mac and cheese.
That she made.
That she made.
What did I said? You asked me what I believe she's gonna come with mac and cheese. Are you gonna make it here? You should make it here. That actually makes it easier. Then there's no doubt because they're not gonna believe in you, Mel. They're gonna say you.
I was going to say I was going to record the whole thing.
Okay, that works.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would have it ready for when I came in on Tuesday. But yeah, like I was going to record it.
Oh, I like
so
this.
that you guys know that I did not purchase it and nobody made it for me. That I made my own version of
Don't
mac
you
and
wish
cheese.
sometimes we would just get off your dick?
Yeah, sometimes. But,
Like, it's cool.
Whatever.
And you're confident with the terms of this
Yeah.
arrangement. So if you don't come here and put this,
Yep, I heard you loud and clear.
okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
On that day, everybody gets their break.
And enough time has passed for me to call Park scared of Keno's lamb chops too. I'm sick of it now.
That's fine.
What
I'm
you
scared.
Well, he been
I'm scared.
saying what he wanted. Like he been saying, get a
Just go to
grill.
grill.
I hate when people bow out like that.
What he say?
He been saying, get a grill.
Parks,
He said that every time the conversation comes up. Yo, just get a
No,
grill.
the last
I'm with
time
whatever.
it came up, they both was gonna do it somewhere together.
Oh, and so
Yeah, but they were supposed to find the place for it.
we
Parks
should
ain't been
have
running from it.
something to
Definitely.
accompany the mac and cheese.
Oh,
Can you explain what that means to be scared of his lamb chops?
He makes lamb chops. I make lamb chops.
they
I've been
both
trying
make,
to have a.
Keno and Parks both make spectacular lamb chops differently.
Okay.
That's all. They just make them different. They've never had each other's.
I've
Parks
had
might have had
his.
it
Yeah,
on
yeah.
at Costa Rica now,
Plain-
but that was a bullshit.
No, we had it here. He brought him.
Yeah, he brought him
Oh
here.
yeah.
No
Parks wasn't
crusted. You don't
impressed.
do no crusted shit, just plain shit.
Well, sort of. Yeah, sort of.
Oh, so this might be a whole little cook-off.
If it wasn't Jeff Goldblum, I don't think niggas could outsmove Parks. Like
He's tough. He's
anybody
tough. He's
else,
tough out.
Parks got him.
He's tough
Hey,
out.
we talking food. That spaghetti off ain't happened either. That y'all
That's
was talking
true.
about.
That is true.
Too. There's a
mentioning
few
food.
things that we.
Who's doing the spaghetti off?
Me and Amani.
We could do that next week too.
I don't have a problem with that.
Oh, I thought you
This is what was this.
thought you must say I don't have a kitchen.
Oh shit!
I really thought that's where that was going. I swear to God, I thought that's where that was going. I thought being funny. I don't have a kitchen.
Shit, man, too.
Deliriousness is setting in.
What time is it?
I know somebody needs his whoopee.
or one of them kitchens that in the living room, like in the little studio shit. The little kitchen is in the bedroom.
Kitchenette.
Yeah, kitchenette is what they call it. A kitchenette is what they call it.
Whole crib smell like ragu.
Stop, yo.
Sauce
My
all
man
over the
got a
pillow-
kitchen.
Sauce all over the pillows and shit.
Yeah, it tracks because I think he was like, we could do it here. It's like, yeah, I bet. Get out of here.
Hey, I believe in you, you know.
A cook-off. My apologies. I just thought that's where that was going. I misread the situation. A cook-off. Why don't we do that? Why don't we have a bunch of food here at one time since we got to be here anyway? Let's eat.
Because we got to be here anyway. Yo, is this a fucking slave ship or what? God damn it, boy. Y'all act like y'all fucking landman.
Crazy.
I'm down for it, even though I'm on a diet.
But what's the spaghetti off? I mean, it's just boiling noodles. Is it the actual sauce you make?
Oh, that couldn't be further from the truth.
Disrespecting the art of spaghetti.
Yeah, that couldn't be further from the truth.
School me. I'm not a cook.
Sauce, the sauce.
Spaghetti is sauce.
So you making it from scratch, like crush it?
Imani makes his from scratch.
I'm not making noodles.
So
from
is it
scratch.
just tomato
he gonna-
sauce or
then he
is
gonna
it like
win.
bolognese? Like what's
Use paste.
happening?
Tomato paste, red wine, the actual sauce, canned
Sugar?
sauce. Well, I do put a little sugar, but it's hot sauce.
Hot
All right,
sauce.
you should have ran out of counter
Sounds
space by now.
It's him.
Don't act like you just
him. It's
putting
him.
a bunch of shit on the
It's him.
counter.
And then it's him. And then a week later, I'm like, oh man, you know what? I go home and think I make too many jokes on this nigga. It's him.
Mark started it.
I don't care, nigga. You be sending it off.
You did. You made that happen.
Yo, how he does this?
That was you.
Yo, how he does
That
this?
was 100%.
That was 1,000% you.
This guy's a magician, I swear.
Oh, well, there he is.
It's Queen's Flip.
Oh, I'm about to say somebody is real aggressive. I'm down to get the our spaghetti off for real after we get mac and cheese from her.
Yeah. Let's do that a different week.
before they ever do a pork chop off.
Lamb
Lamb
chops.
chop. Lamb chop.
I mean, pardon me, lamb chops.
I'm with that.
I'm down to do it. Let's
with
wait to get whatever this is about to be.
This might be delicious. I don't eat mac and
Yo,
cheese.
Mark, she's already really, she loves you.
You did
she's
it.
fly with you. You did it. She's championing
Good
you.
shit, champ.
Like, we got it, big dog. Big flip. Big flip in the building. Big flip in the building. Yo, can I tell you, not on the groupie shit, I'm fucking ecstatic that you came back here.
Yeah, that was fire.
That's
all
fire.
bullshit.
Wow, you asked me to come back.
Yeah, but I was kind
Hey,
of
you
joking
came
a
right
little bit,
back.
and you came right back.
The rest of us wouldn't do that.
He was in the car.
No, I wasn't
No,
on
he was
Spaces. I was at home, lady.
He
I
was
was,
in
on,
bed.
I was on Spaces, nigga.
Laid
I was on
up.
Spaces. Yeah.
Naked on spaces.
Hey, yeah. I check my about Spaces, nigga. My shit. Yo, what up? What's good?
Now, Mel already kind of cleared it up, but now that we got you here to offer resistance, we trying to get into that whole feminist. You supposed to make your wife a plate. You supposed to. Mel said she was just lighthearted, joking, because you was in the kitchen looking like a dog with foam in your mouth.
That was not what I said. I said you look like Winnie the Pooh waiting for your plate. Yeah.
Okay, so let me just tell you what happened. Ian asked me, are you going to get your own plate? Because Ian was there getting his plate. Julia was there. She stopped and said, no, he's not going to get his plate. His wife is going to do it for him. This is how they move.
So Ian was getting his own plate.
Melissa Ford.
That was a little crazy.
She
Now,
said
that was very
She said, this is how they
different
move.
than
I
what
asked her,
you
what do you
described.
mean?
Wait, Mel said this is how they
Yes,
move?
I
Oh,
said-
that was
I
crazy.
asked-
That's different. That's very different, Mel.
I asked her, what do you mean? She said, Caribbean men. This is what happens in the Caribbean household. I said, Mel, that's not true. So then I
It's
went.
literally playing out right in front of us.
She
so
said
how
that.
is
So
it
I
not
went,
true?
I went to the other plate. I went to the living room. I sat there because I was waiting. I was waiting till everybody get their plate. My wife and I said, yo, get your shit, but get my shit last because Mel was watching. So my wife, she did get my plate. She said, you see, because she asked me. My wife said, what do you want? I said, da da da. She got my plate and put it there. Mel said, you see, she looked at Ian. See, I told you. That was one. Then the second thing about it, I think it was something else Mel said about cleaning. Because my wife was cleaning the kitchen. So Ian said, can y'all please stop cleaning? You don't have to clean. She said, this is what they do. They clean the kitchen, and these guys don't help them at all. Not one lick. She pointed at me. They don't help. They'll just stand here and watch while I was standing there. Then Mel proceeded to, in front of my wife, to say, Flip, can you do me a favor? Can you go there and get me the bottle of champagne out the fridge? I said,
White wine.
white wine. And I got it for her because she tried to embarrass me. That's what happened.
That's a little different, Mel.
That's very
It's a lot
different
different.
from all that bullshit you said before.
Yo, Mel, you told a different story.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth. The way where I was positioned sitting,
Yeah.
I was locked in with Ian.
You were.
Exactly. So you just happened to be closest to the fridge.
No.
Yes.
I was close. Yes, you're correct.
Yes.
But you did ask me to make it to set an example.
No.
Mel, is anything in Flip's account untrue?
Yeah.
Which one is untrue?
Intention.
He didn't say what.
You didn't say your. Now you gonna laugh. Yo.
That's crazy.
She said that Ian was
wild.
But in my mind, Ian,
because intention. I'm not trying to like embarrass him in front of his wife at all.
No, no,
like,
I'm
that
saying,
wouldn't be.
but I'm saying you left out some details of what was.
But
of-
wasn't
of-
Ian shocked? Ian
He
came
never
off
stated
shocked.
your intent though.
Ian
Well, my
came
thing
off-
is,
Yeah, he
Ian
did.
asked Flip if he was going to get his plate, and you answered for Flip about what Flip's wife
Yes.
was about to do.
Well, because we were all in the kitchen at the same time.
She's correct.
So here's the thing: the way the food was set up buffet style. And so
Got
all
it.
the plates were at the end. So
Right,
it's
right,
basically like come get a
Get your
plate,
plate and
and
then
then
work your way
dish,
down.
and then you go and sit down.
But you
That's-
jumped. But wait,
that
you
was
jumped,
how it was.
You jumped into it and it said. Ian said, "Flip, you're not going to eat." You jumped in before I could answer him. You said, "No, he's going to sit there and his wife's going to get the plate." That's what they do where he's from. Oh, that's
And
what
they're not
they
gonna
do.
move a finger. That's the part that-
She pointed at me.
That's the
This
part
is what
that's
they
added.
do.
So
Very
hold on,
different.
you guys do remember
She's
that
Caribbean.
I'm Caribbean on my father's side, so I actually grew up like
Yo,
this.
Kamala, I mean, yo, enough now. Enough. Of
You
this.
call her Kamala.
She has to stop this.
I'm not. You call
But
me.
what if you say
call me,
different?
call me Kamala all you fucking want. I have been consistent about what my heritage is.
Oh yeah, I'm not questioning your heritage.
Oh, that's what you call her Kamala. Kamala act like she wasn't Jamaican.
They just take all heritage. You know,
I have said from day
As
one.
the first Hawaiian president.
Scottish.
I've said from day one that my father was from Barbados. I've
have.
said
You've
it.
always
I've
said
said
it.
it.
You
I've
said you've
always
always
said
said
it.
it. I'm
Grew up
trust
in
you have.
Canada around
Yes,
enough Caribbeans.
yes.
Like that's.
So Ian even asked her how she know, and that was her response. I know. I grew up in a household with a Caribbean man, and so I know it. So but she used her finger to point at me. She pointed. This is how they do it. And when my wife was cleaning and her mother was cleaning, she said he's just gonna stand there and watch. I'm like, yo, man.
Okay, that's exaggerating. I didn't say that part.
You said I'm gonna stand there and watch and not do nothing.
No.
This is what they do.
No, this is how the conversation happened.
Yeah.
Jules and Ian kept getting up to try to clean, and I said, "They're not going to let you."
They're not
I was
gonna stop.
like- Yeah,
Yes.
I was like, "They're not
Sorry.
going to let you." I was like, "This is part of the experience."
And what did you say about me?
I didn't say nothing about you
You
during
said
at,
all
that-
he's
at
gonna
that
do
time.
is. You said all he's gonna do is stand there and watch.
Not the cleaning part.
You said I was there.
No, it was the stand there and like watch.
Good. I think the difference
All
with your
right,
accounts.
we got
the
it.
account.
We got it.
Yeah, we don't even got to recap. Yeah,
Certainly. Yeah.
the audience can make their own determination.
Well, hold on one second here. Let's just. Be,
I ain't gonna let y'all play with her like that. Go ahead, man.
Well,
What's up?
let's just
You
be,
don't know what she said.
We got it
hear it.
already.
No, he does. Let's
I wanna hear it.
Let's just be clear on what the fuck feminism is, okay? Because I think y'all are very fucking confused
Sure,
as to
man.
what feminism is, and you keep talking about it like it's a dirty word.
That's true.
Feminism is the belief and advocacy that women should have the same rights, the same opportunities as men. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. That's it. Basically. So when you're calling me a feminist, you're not insulting me. Like I don't call me something else. But you're not insulting me by calling me a feminist because that is what I want for women. I want women to have the same rights and the same opportunities that their male counterparts have. There's nothing wrong with that. So
I agree with that,
them
100%.
calling me a feminist when it comes to your circumstances, I was like, the one thing has nothing to do with the fucking other.
Do you
You
think
know
that?
what I
Man, rest in peace to the Godfather, man.
Do you the pimp? The Godfather, the pimp, the nigga that used to.
Kevin Samuels will come in and tear Mark and Mel up with his bullshit.
You wouldn't tear me up.
Do you think that
Did
a
you ever
woman?
meet him?
Do you think that a man should get
He's
his
my
own
friend,
plate?
God bless Kevin Samuels, but I mean,
He would come tear y'all up if he
Yeah,
was
but
here.
look at
God
that.
bless the
Look-
dead.
Oh, we need a
Y'all
Ouija board
too,
now.
Y'all
Look at-
too lucky, boy.
look- you say Kevin Samuels would come and eat me and Mark up, but there was an inconsistency in what Kevin Samuels preached and what we come to find out his personal life looked like.
How so?
How so?
What was that?
And, yeah.
Educate me.
I'm genuinely curious to know. I'm not asking because I don't know enough about his personal life to know.
Same.
Well, the personal life was, from what I...
Yeah.
No, because I don't want to be, I don't want to come off as insensitive because he's no longer here. And I actually, in the last like several, 8 months of his life, he and I talked a lot. But one of the things that I said to him when he, reached out to me and he said that he wanted to work with me, I said, Kevin, I got to tell you something. Like, I am wildly confused by why you would want to work with me because according to your standards of what a high value woman is, I'm barely a fucking 4. So I truly just didn't even understand. You know what I'm saying?
That's not true.
What's that?
You're not a 4 on his scale.
Well, Beyonce's a fucking 7.
He said as far as physicality, Beyonce was a 7.
Okay,
But
tell me more.
Beyonce wasn't a low value woman for him. He didn't even he based women. I don't want to say based women. He said it was a sliding scale with regards to women. So you could be a broke bum chick, but if you were physically beautiful, he said you had a high probability to land a high value man, because most high value men didn't necessarily care about what you possessed as far as assets. A lot of high value men wanted attractive women almost as trophy pieces. So he called that their sexual something score.
But then that's the weirdest thing to me, because if you're a high value man, then what is the attributes that you are assigning as high value? Because a high value man, in terms of somebody who's rich in character and whatever else, he's not going to want a beautiful bum bitch.
This is a new conversation. I was just trying to find out if you thought you knew enough about his personal life to testify that
To say it was ironic about him dying.
That
Yeah.
There was a gap between what he said and how he lived. And I'm honestly asking. I don't know.
I don't want to be insensitive.
Okay.
But it's just a lot of the stuff that came out after the fact just did not align.
What came out after?
I have to do some more research.
I don't get that.
So I know that when he died, I only know this because our fraternity has sort of announced it. I know he passed away in his bed, right?
In his household.
In his house, I should say, right?
Yeah. There was a woman there.
And there was a woman there.
Something. I mean,
that's the only thing I know, but I don't know the story. I'm not saying there isn't something there. I just don't know the story.
But
it sounds like Mel knows more than that. So I'm asking because I don't.
That's the other thing is maybe I have bad information, so then I don't even want to say.
Supposedly a Viagra and a Red Bull were involved.
Well,
allegedly.
yeah, he drank a lot.
He drank
of Red Bull.
like they was going.
Yeah, he was addicted to. I would say addicted. He took a lot of Red Bull.
He drank a lot.
He drank
a lot of Red Bull,
and they said it was
which a lot
Viagra,
of streamers do.
Viagra allegedly was involved, but outside of that, I don't necessarily know any of the other.
Well, those are two things that literally, if you have
details.
like an undiagnosed heart condition, will kill you.
But I'm talking.
But are
about
those things that against what he said about
no,
that?
No. Just in terms of, I feel like there was a lot of rumors about his lack of paying child support, two failed marriages.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like those are the things that I'm alluding to. And that's the things that I don't really feel like I should be talking about right now because he's not here.
Let's take it off Kevin Samuels. Rest in peace to the Godfather. Let's take it off him for a minute. Do you feel like if you read a report that says a man has not paid his child support in X amount of months, that means he can't be a high value man?
Good question.
Do I know the circumstances?
No.
No.
You don't know circumstances.
None of us know.
You just read it.
We just read it.
Yeah. Let's say 8 to 9 months.
I mean,
nobody's gonna hammer you in here.
Be honest.
You can speak. Let's have a conversation.
Instantaneously, when you read that, yes, I feel like the natural assumption would be deadbeat. Absolutely. There's circumstances in which maybe somebody lost their job and they've had a difficult time, like especially if you're paying attention to the way this economy is going and how people are losing their jobs in droves, and there's circumstances that sometimes you can't you can't really plan for. But I don't think that's the first thing that the average person would think hearing that.
I posed you the same question about reading a guy has 2 failed marriages. Let's take it away from children.
I think that if a woman was giving that type of advice and she had the same failed marriages under her belt, the internet would hand her ass. And a perfect example of a woman who hasn't even been married is Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. The amount of criticism that she receives talking about relationships when people always go, well, you've never been married and you had failed engagements, and they always point to with the failures of her relationship.
But with all due respect, that doesn't answer the question. Oh,
yeah, thank you.
At all.
Huh?
Yeah. Please. No, please.
No, but and I hear all that, and I agree with all that. But the question still is if the same question about the child support applied to a man with 2 failed marriages, how
would you read it?
How would you read it?
Yeah, not how would the community look at a woman with the same circumstance.
I think that it would be very easy to write him off and say you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. You have 2 failed marriages under your belt.
So experience-
You know, so
Does that- but does that mean
however, if you come from the line of thinking that harsh experiences like that can be, you know, incredible teachers, then you might think that that person has something of value to teach somebody. But to be on a platform advertising yourself as a relationship expert with 2 failed marriages under your belt sounds a little wonky
So
to me.
the experience would not.
Did he? Was he a relationship expert?
No.
No, I'm not talking about that.
But I think my opinion on that is
Well, he's a relationship expert because he bragged about how many marriages he had facilitated, how many couples who he had facilitated getting to the altar. So in that way, yes, he kind of did advertise himself as a relationship expert.
I think the expert comes from the failures.
Yeah, me too. That's what
I
I'm
think the
saying.
people that succeed in business, they failed a billion times. And I would take advice from the people that failed in business a whole bunch of times as opposed to the person that got it right the first time.
We have somebody in the White House as the president who has failed at business and he's bankrupting the fucking country.
And there's a lot of other people that failed at business that are immensely successful.
Mhm.
So that's just one outlier and he not good as a president.
It's terrible.
So what I'm saying is I would take the person's business advice that failed a bunch of times because they could tell you, yo, don't do that. It's a pitfall over there. Yo, don't do that because it's a thing over here. If I mentor somebody in real estate investing, I could say, yo, I did that in 2020 and that shit didn't work. Yo, I did that before. That didn't work. Watch that right there because so I don't want to necessarily, I'm not saying that the person that got it right the first time won't have valuable insight as well, but I think the person that failed a bunch of times would be more insightful with regards to the do's and the don'ts.
Experience is a really great teacher, but it doesn't always work. You know, some people are they just don't learn the lessons that keep being presented to them.
But I think the idea is that there's value
in
in
dead horse. Can you answer my question, Phil? I don't think I.
I feel like I did.
You did.
You didn't.
Yeah, I did.
I got what you were saying. Not directly, but I get what you were saying. She was saying basically like her first instinct would be to write it off, but she does see some value.
Joe asked her if somebody had 2 failed marriages, did that disqualify them from being a high value?
To her. I heard her saying no.
And
I
then
thought she was
gave
saying
me-
no.
and
I
then
thought
she
she was
gave
saying
me
my
both
first instinct would be
sides.
yes, but if I thought about it more, it would be no. But
She said, reading that at first, yeah, I may count
She
them
write
off,
them
but
off.
on the flip side of that, experience as a teacher, that don't tell me how you feel about that man.
So where do you land on
Can
the
that man, is that man a high value man? It's not a trick question.
No, not to me.
There we go.
Okay, not
There we go.
Okay.
There we go. Okay.
No, not
That's
to me.
me. Yeah, fuck that nigga.
No, it's not fuck that nigga because again, like I said, like in the last 8 months of his life, we actually developed like, you know, a friendship. So I got to see like a different version of him than what the average.
No, we're not talking about Kevin Samuel.
Oh,
I was just saying.
Yeah.
In general.
Fuck the hypothetical two
exactly.
failed
Right.
marriage dude.
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question, and this is not a shot at all. This is a sincere question. So, because marriage is a piece of it, but what would you say to the person who might say, if you have had a bunch of failed relationships that don't lead to marriage at this stage in life, does that diminish your value?
I was gonna say that, but I ain't
possibly.
gonna start being argumentative.
Somebody's perception of me, yeah, absolutely. They might feel that way.
What would you say to? What would your response be to that? Is that a reasonable conclusion at which to arrive?
It's a reasonable conclusion to arrive at.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Without knowing me, without knowing anything about me, without knowing how I look at failures as, sometimes I don't look at something as a failure.
Right. Just like the 2 failed marriage guy.
Yeah.
See, that's where it gets
tricky.
Tricky, right?
Yeah.
Because anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
My work here is done. That's how you do it.
This nigga is a sanitation worker, boy.
Cool.
Remember the shit, the street? Remember the shit on the side of the street where we were picking the garbage?
Clean up both sides.
Nigga, get out of here, boss. Fuck out of here, yo.
Going for the trade piece.
But however, I will talk about like a quote unquote failed engagement. I really won't take the onus for that because, well, he was abusive. and I left an abusive relationship.
Right.
So I'm not that the onus does not fall on me.
No,
there.
I agree. I'm not.
I know you're not.
You know,
I know you're not.
When you see two failed marriages, I know people whose first marriage, the wife left them, or wife cheated. First, you know what I mean? Sometimes the failures aren't failures either on that side. And I've never had one, but I know people who have, and so I've seen that happen before. Where sometimes it takes it a second or third time to get it right. Sometimes with no fault of either person. Sometimes people get married at 19 and it just ain't.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Our friend Jeff is like that, who's very public about it. You know, Jeff Johnson.
Yes.
He said, I got my wife pregnant at 9. Or he was a teenager, basically. He was a preacher. And I married her because that's what we were supposed to do. And we both realized it was a bad choice, and we undid it. So that's a failed marriage. But is it, you know what I mean? That was a lesson you learned.
I have a question for you. Do you feel like people who haven't been married or people who haven't had children can give you advice on how to raise a child or advice on how to survive in a marriage when they... And neither, because I don't. Let me just give you my opinion. I don't think so. I don't really. Maybe I'm ignorant, but I don't want to take advice from anybody that doesn't have experience in that field. Like if somebody don't have children and telling me how to raise a child based on what they read, I don't want to take advice from them because I'm in the lick of it. Me personally,
I think about things in sports terms a lot, and I was thinking like I'd prefer my coach, the NBA coach, to have played in the NBA.
Okay, got it.
But Greg Popovich is one of the greats.
Spoelstra.
Eric Spoelstra, one of the greats.
Got it. Okay.
Never played a minute in the NBA.
Got it.
Two of the other greats, weren't very good, relatively speaking. Phil Jackson and Pat Riley. So I'm just saying, like, I put more weight on people who've been through it, but I don't discount someone who has good advice, particularly if they have some expertise on it, right?
Okay.
For example, if someone,
child psychologist.
If someone's a child psychologist and they're like, look, here's why, like Stacey
Or
Patton,
a marriage therapist.
Yeah, I prefer my marriage. I wouldn't go to a marriage therapist who was unmarried personally, but I would go to a child therapist who spent their time studying children and know a lot about childhood.
You wouldn't go to a marriage counselor?
Who was not married.
Married.
Who had never been married. I'm saying.
I wouldn't go to a child psychologist that didn't have children either.
And that's where I'm saying I would go to child.
I'm saying I would.
So, yeah, and I respect it. I don't think
What's
it's
the
a bad
difference
choice
for you?
Because I know what a child I know what it takes to be a child psychologist. I know that they spend a lot of time working with children, studying children, observing children. So if my child keep having temper tantrums and they've been studying temper tantrums for 20 years, I could at least hear. I still want to hear from the therapist. I prefer to hear from the therapist. Says, well, here's how I did it when all that book shit don't work and it's 3 a.m.
Exactly.
I want that more.
Exactly.
But there's an insight they have to offer. I'm not saying that the marriage person doesn't have that. I'm just less likely to trust it because to me, so much of marriage is not about the book. It's not
about theory, bro. It's not
much.
theoretical.
Yeah, to me, marriage. Whereas I've seen theory work for children.
It's about hands on for me.
Bro.
I think that's
yo, dog. When you're having a child,
hold on, let me plan it. If you remove the word, if the marriage counselor studies marriages the way that the child psychologist has studied children, why does that not make an impact for you?
It does, and part of it is because, and this is just me, because I know more about childhood and I understand that domain a little bit better. I feel more comfortable trusting them on the end. I guess what I'm saying is, I know so little about marriage. I would probably lean more heavily on someone who had experience. It's just my preference. Your point is right. I think.
You're talking to Mark's point.
Yeah, because he
said he would take advice from the marriage counselor, but not. No,
he wouldn't
from the child psychologist, but not the marriage
that's the only
counselor.
reason I asked.
Yeah, I think they're both. I think, in my opinion, that they're both the same. It's like taking advice from a boxing coach that never been in the ring and got hit before. It's easy to be like, yo, do this, this, and this, nigga. When that nigga punching you and leaning on you and all the other shit, it's a different ball game when you hands on.
If that boxing coach is trained, world champions.
Yeah.
I also think that there's some level of relationships, relationships relationships with younger people that can exist without you being. I wouldn't go to a contractor. I wouldn't go if I would need contracting advice. I would go to a contractor. That's a specialized field.
Yeah.
I think that relationships, we all deal with relationships in a different way. I think someone that is not married could give you prudent advice in a relationship.
They
could have had 10
I think someone that could be maybe a very good aunt or uncle or teacher or
somebody that has
whatever.
six brothers and sisters that they raised.
Correct.
Could give good childhood advice. But I think that is an expertise. Like if you were to, back in the day, people had kids with 20-year age gaps.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
still do.
But back in the day it was more prevalent. So if you raised your 6 or 7 brothers and sisters, my nigga, you have childhood experience. You have reared these children. Okay. So you can give insightful things. But if somebody doesn't have kids and they haven't undergone that level of experience, I think it's you reading from a book on a kid, my nigga. When it's 3:00 in the morning, dog, I don't want to hear none of that theoretical shit about no child.
Well, let me ask you guys this.
I don't. I've experienced that. I got to get up at 3 a.m. I got to walk my child around. No book ain't going to teach you that shit.
That is
when these women, a lot of times they be talking about women be going through postpartum depression. A lot of times that shit just be stressed because they are raising a child by them fucking selves and they doing it and they don't have no help. My nigga, I'm not going to hold you. It's me and my girl. That is some of the hardest shit that I've ever had to endure, and I feel immensely for all of these women that are single raising a child by themselves.
Do you believe in postpartum though, Ish?
Absolutely.
Okay,
1,000%. 1,000%.
I didn't know about it until now I have an understanding of it.
Fuck yes. Yeah. And again, I think even if you're not necessarily going through postpartum depression, just the fact that, it could be postpartum depression, but not in a hormonal way, because a lot of it is hormonal, right? But just from I don't have any help.
Sleep deprived.
Right? I'm sleep deprived.
Yes.
Right? Financially, I'm trying to figure it out. All of these things, my nigga.
I'm still trying to parent.
Bro, what?
You know what it is for me too?
We couldn't handle it.
Bro, I'm telling you, a lot of men couldn't handle that.
Not at all.
I'm
a lot
thinking
of
through your
people couldn't
question
handle
too,
that.
because like, what's the difference for me? Because you're right. I mean, logically they're the same, right? The comparison is perfect. I think for me, some of it isn't even whether you have the information. It's what Ish is getting at, which is also I need to know the person I've talked to has been through some shit for me to even like when we were doing breastfeeding. Right after when we were in the NICU after my son was born, my wife did breastfeeding. We were talking to the breastfeeding coaches, and they said the breastfeeding coaches at this particular hospital, you had to have breastfed yourself. Not because you can't teach somebody how to breastfeed without having breastfed, but when you're a mother sitting there for the first time frustrated that
they won't latch on.
They won't latch. You don't want to hear that from somebody who's never done that shit before. Sure. Not because the advice ain't right, but there's something about knowing that person did it, and I think that's the piece for me too that I hadn't thought about before.
Or is that mental though?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Or just the nuance. Like sometimes you could be telling somebody the textbook way in which to do something and be like, yo, I used to sit my kid up like this and they would get it on a better angle. The book might tell you this way, but sit them up like this and it might work. Because that's what worked for
YouTube
me.
will show them now how to do it. And Instagram.
I mean, it's not funny, but that's somebody that's showing you how to do it.
Who has
that's
done
somebody
it,
that did it.
Hey, that's the freaky side of Instagram too.
I was about to say.
No, for real, the moms is getting their shit off. Well, Instagram's just freaking period now, but
That's
how it was getting past the guidelines. Is hey, there's a baby sucking on my tit, so my tit could be exposed. And
While
I
the
can take a picture of it.
while the other one is out, some crazy shit.
This took an amazing turn that I didn't think we were capable of. I'm impressed.
Pregnant titties, best titties. Oh,
you're right.
Ignorant.
No, not.
Yeah, you ain't wrong.
Anyway.
Yeah, I'm good.
This did take a turn. Rest in peace to the Godfather.
Rest in peace.
Get your marriage and child psychology advice from wherever you want to get it.
Make your plate whenever you want. Make your own plate.
Does it change for you if the person is highly recommended by somebody you know? Like, hey, here's a marriage counselor that isn't married, but this person has saved. So that does help.
Recs go a long way.
Got it.
Because ultimately it's about trust for me.
Kevin Samuels.
Got it.
Yo, there's been a bunch of people like women like, yo, he saved my marriage. Yo, he helped me have a better relationship with my kid. Like my son, a bunch of other things that my nigga used to have 20,000 people in his life on a daily basis.
He used to stream.
Did you communicate when you were communicating with him, Mel? Was it via text or DM?
No, we talked on the phone.
All right. My question: did you erase his number, or do you still have it?
I still have it.
Yeah, I didn't erase it either.
I can't erase numbers.
Yeah, I don't erase
numbers.
Unfortunately, I don't do it either.
Or the text thread.
I don't do it.
Filled with dead people.
Yep.
I keep the text thread there.
Why are we like? Why is that?
I don't know, but I still do it.
For me, it feels like
my shit too.
something about letting them go. Even like on social media. Yeah, like Facebook. You know, you have a limit of friends. I could unfriend the people who've died, but I just can't do it. It feels something feels.
Oh shit,
Me
man,
too,
this
yo.
shit lit.
Yeah, me too.
It feel weird.
That was really texting, girl. Put that shit away, girl.
I keep them too. Yeah, my Facebook friends, Instagram people that passed away.
He saw Victor. Kevin said, well, he said, well, girl, that video shit. Let me talk to you real quick, girl. That video shoot shit you was doing, let me tell you where it puts you now in
You
society.
gotta stop doing that. Will you think people only see the value in Mel for that?
I don't think that. You think that, nigga.
No, I don't think that.
Mel is smart as shit to me.
I don't think that.
Niggas, I think Mel
Stop
is smart.
looking at niggas' phones being nosy.
That shit be his shit.
telling the
That's
world.
the real lesson.
Yeah, that's
right.
That's what I thought you was about to
his
say.
shit be lit too. I was behind the shit.
You talking about when you was creeping?
He love his girl.
You talking about when you was behind?
Mid podcast, I love you.
Yo,
Nigga,
Flip.
get out of here.
Hey, Flip. You know something like when you was creeping behind the couch staring at Amerie?
What you mean?
Nigga, I ain't never seen you stay for no interview after it's time to go home.
You know what it was? Not like that. No.
Mesmerized, right?
No. I was fascinated on how nice she is as a person.
Yeah.
She's just a nice
She's
person.
a very nice person.
For real. Had
Yeah.
nothing else. Yeah,
Nice.
That's the first time you've seen a nice person.
No, I did do that. I was like this. He got me.
Oh shit!
Yeah, Joe. I know she's just and I'm thinking like I think it was in awe.
Oh, he was in
No,
awe.
no. In my head, I'm like, yo, this is a nice
Nah,
lady.
she had great energy.
Yo, this is a nice lady.
she was
like,
amazing.
How can
She
somebody
was
be?
dope.
How can somebody be that nice in my head? I'm like, I'm an evil person in my mind. I'm like, she's just so nice, nigga. Nothing bothers her. He tried to catch her a couple of times. So
No, I would have never tried to catch her like that. Like I love her. Like
Yeah.
she's like.
no, when I mean
You like
catch her,
gang,
like
gang.
when you try to get her, you were depressed at a certain stage. Just her responses to me was just like, damn, she's a nice fucking lady.
Kind of just wanted to hear her speak truth to power. I know that she is that positive, right? So anything you throw her that's going to have a inkling of that, she's
Have a
going to
positive
reply
outlook.
to
Got
it
it.
with. Yeah, and I like that. I'm a big fan of that. Before I let you guys get home to your families that love you and your dogs,
That's crazy.
That was wild.
That's
nasty.
fine. That's my dog.
The dog is a family.
Yeah.
You could have just said your families. You ain't have to. I mean,
Her dog is a family and better.
the dog is.
I think that might be worse.
The dog. No, your dog is your family.
No, I'm standing up for Mel.
horrible.
Daisy is her family. What?
That was nuts.
Your dog is
See,
part of your
good for
family.
you.
You know.
Yes.
It is.
Thank
yes.
you.
Yes.
You ain't have to break it down.
Nigga
crazy, yo.
Shut up, Corey.
Y'all
106 in
people.
Park is to celebrate their 25th anniversary with host reunion and performances at the 2025 BET Awards. Come on.
Very good. When is the award? What
I wait
month
for
is
my
the award?
invite.
I can hear you.
What month are the awards?
Usually
It's
September.
June. It's
right?
early. No, it's early June.
It's the summer, like yeah.
It's the week after
BET
Essence. It's the week
Award.
after
It's not the
Essence.
hip hop
And
award.
Free and
BET.
AJ or somebody else?
It's the week after Essence.
They probably gonna have all the
It
hosts.
just says
They said host reunion.
AJ Calloway, Free, Jalissa,
Roxy.
Keisha Shante, Roxy Diaz, and Terrence J
I
will
like
be
this.
packing
It's
on
one of
the
them. We're gonna get
on,
to
that. Just kinda all the
packing
other
on
ones.
the nostalgia with a reunion after raising a generation of millennial rap and R&B fans. Now, I don't know where they got
Freeze.
that idea from, but just a few weeks ago, Jalissa and Roxy happened to be on vacation somewhere
they
and
did.
took pictures.
Yeah,
I don't know if BT saw it.
I did.
But
I saw it.
Joey did.
Good pictures.
A&T did.
I see Esau.
Hey, I see.
I see Esau.
What?
Yo,
They were in
Yeah,
Mexico
my
and
girl
they look
Roxy.
beautiful. BET Awards is on June 9th. That's early.
That's very nice.
It's
Oh,
super.
well, no,
it's
no, yeah,
it's
'cause
early.
usually
Yeah, it used to be.
the
It's supposed to be the week
20
after Essence. Yeah, a week before Essence. Yeah,
It
week after
used
Essence.
to be 20s.
Yeah.
who you prefer, AJ and Free or Roxy and Terrence?
AJ and Free. I grew up on that era.
Yeah, let's not get
Not
crazy.
grew up, but you know what I'm saying.
But shout out to Roxy and Terrence.
Shout out to
No,
Roxy.
I just want to see
We-
Free. I know.
we AJ and Free.
So you
yeah.
AJ and Free
For sure.
Okay, I thought you.
What else do I have for you guys?
You
Oh,
not AJ
this
and
is
Free?
Trey Murphy and the White Broads.
You Roxy?
Comedian.
I didn't say
You
what
like
Roxy.
the white girls, boy?
Roxy
I'm
ain't
not
white.
just joking. Come on, I know. I was
Which
bothering.
Rap City host?
Tigger.
Tigger.
Yeah, Tigger. Sorry.
Who was after Tigger?
Hits from the street.
Who?
I don't know who was that.
Hits
Oh,
from the street.
hits.
Hits
He
from
was
the
funny,
street.
son.
And then who was the
He
other
wasn't
dude?
Tigger, son. He was
Joe
funny.
Claire.
though.
We're talking about before.
Joe Claire was before
Yeah,
Tig.
no, before.
Tigger. Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot all about
That's
that.
what I was
dude
talking
hit.
about more.
Hits from the
Joe
street
Claire.
was so
You
funny.
like you prefer Joe Claire Parks?
Nah, Tigger probably had more iconic moments. And that was
That
when they got
Bougie
the
Bonton
basement
and
on.
Elephant
And I like
Man
this.
shit.
I like when he freestyled.
Yeah.
And Tigger's the home.
I
Basement
saved,
freestyles
I
was it,
saved
dog.
this. I don't know why I thought it might be important to us.
Les too.
It may not be important to us at all. Maybe it's the monopoly head of me. Scientist uses monopoly to prove privilege rewires the brain. Do y'all want to hear this?
Yeah.
It is
Why not?
interesting.
Sure.
Hell yeah.
Go ahead. Sure.
After this, I don't have anything else for y'all. Let's see here.
Nigga got
I
me.
want to put my headphones on too. So.
Yes, I want to hear this properly.
All right. Like to hear it. Here it go.
Strangers into the lab.
Oh.
We brought strangers into the lab in pairs of two. With the flip of a coin, determined who was going to be a rich player and who was going to be the poor player.
The music, though.
2 times as much money to play the game. They got to roll both dice instead of one, so they got to move around the board a lot quicker, and that mattered because when they moved around the board and passed go,
They were able to
they
pick
would
up.
collect $200, whereas the poor person, they'd collect $100. And the inequality is almost immediately apparent to the players. How couldn't it be? But within a couple of minutes, dynamics start to crystallize.
Here we go.
Just one. Are you serious? Yeah. I have 3.
And the rich player started to behave a little different.
Talking down to
Rich
these
players
bums.
become more dominant. Rich players
Took
eat
risk
more
more.
pretzels
They eat more pretzels.
when moving their piece around the board.
Comfort,
They
not a
become
care.
confident. They start smacking the board
Oh.
with their piece. And the rich players were significantly ruder.
Get your bum ass out of here. Yo, get over here, nigga.
Talk about how well they're doing. And to belittle the plight of those poor players. So they became less compassionate.
And I'm buying it.
And these are patterns that we're observing consistently over hundreds of different individuals. You see people who are winning because of the flip of a coin start to act as if they actually deserve to win.
It's like I made some good investments.
One of the questions we ask is, why did you win the game? And you can imagine that rich players would say, well, I won the game because of that flip of the coin. I had 2 times the advantage.
But just outsmarted
But
everybody.
none, not one of the rich players attributed their inevitable success in this game to that force of luck that randomly got them that privileged position in the first place. You translate perceptions and experiences of being better off than others materially to being better than others. We brought
Yo, that is crazy.
That's human. I thought he smoked.
He
that.
absolutely what? What? Yo, that is insanity. But it is so
It's true.
parallel to today. When you hear Donald Trump talk, not to keep bringing him up, but yo, my nigga, your father.
I don't ever hear Donald Trump talk.
No, your father gave you all the bread. Your father gave you what, $200 million head start or whatever the fucking head start it was that he had. And now you sit around and talk about other motherfuckers and how they getting along. Like, what? Nigga, you started at level 7 of the game.
That's why you could say shit like, niggas don't need Section 8.
Yeah, like you
And
started
we
at level
removing that.
7
We
of the
removing that.
game, yo.
Yeah.
Like one of his first big deals in New York City was he had bought this hotel, but it was a hotel that was traditionally used for like marginalized people, and he revamped it. But one of his second biggest deals was he sold like the underground rights and the air rights to one of his buildings. The average niggas in the real estate game don't even know you have
You own
Air rights.
air rights.
You own everything
And
above and below when you purchase.
Yeah. Like he sold some of his rights to the subway system in New York. Like, yo, dog, niggas don't even know that. So you operating from a position of privilege from go. You know what I mean? Like, yo, they said he was a bum at Fordham, but his money got him to go to UPenn. Like at the end, he went to UPenn
Right.
and graduated. So yeah, I'm an Ivy League
I went to
graduate.
Wharton, right.
Yeah, I went to Wharton. So, but I'm an Ivy League graduate. But it's because my family had that spanky. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, sit your dumb ass down, bro. I don't want to hear that.
Also, your man O started asking me about how we play Monopoly. I told him one day, just bring the board over there, get to it.
I've been wondering that too.
And you won the last game,
He did.
so don't
I did hear about
right.
that.
He did.
What is y'all weird?
He went and fucking go be
It's a
with his
lot.
family for the next year. Nigga,
That's
shut
all y'all
up.
keep saying. This shit sound real.
It's too much to
like
try to
Fight Club or some
explain
shit.
in
Every
one
time I ask y'all, y'all be
can't
like,
It's too
a
much
lot.
to try to explain
How
at
do
one
y'all play
shot.
Monopoly? What's with y'all? Be
We would literally have to
play
play in
Mega
front of you.
Monopoly.
You got to play in front of you.
We
gotta
play
play in front
Mega.
of
It's 3 dice.
It's an extra property
extra
everywhere.
property for every color.
More, it's $1,000 bill now.
It's a much faster game.
It's
Very
a
fast.
much
Speed die.
faster game because you know the old Monopoly, you could just literally roll around
Skip
the board.
motherfucker all day.
This one has a 3rd dice that allows all of the property to be acquired faster.
Okay.
And then
And
number 2,
take you to where you pay.
it takes you to where you pay. Once all the property is acquired, it takes you to where you pay.
So ain't no lucky
So there's
roll.
no avoiding it.
You can't
Somebody
avoid-
has to die.
Yes.
Got it.
Ain't no
And then we play with a lot of house rules that people don't.
I don't even think
It's not even a
It
lot.
ain't even
It's
a lot
not a
of
lot.
rules.
It's
Shit,
not a lot.
the co-op alone changes Monopoly
It does.
games.
It does.
Black
That one
people,
room
black
right there.
people do that.
Yeah, but not the way we do it.
Black people don't do the co-op.
Black people do not
Shit, I
play
know white
Monopoly
people
that
do
way.
it too.
No, but they don't do it how we do
Not
it.
the way we do
The
it.
way we do it is, yo, whoever holds the property is the owner.
Anytime you feeling froggy, nigga, you can get it too. Academics
sure.
get it too.
I'm
For
down.
sure.
Yeah, since you the new academics, come on.
Have you
nigga.
guys
Get over
played
it.
spades yet?
No.
Hey, yo, dog, I was
Y'all
down
just gonna
south.
keep on fucking
We not in
talking.
a rush for that.
That bidwish shit.
We'll play the same thing with the mac and cheese. We'll play over a game of both
That
mac and
bidwish
cheese.
shit that they be playing. I see why your father like
With-
that shit. That shit is different.
My dad is on Pinochle now, but
oh yeah, he is on
he's
Pinochle.
a
But that
guy.
bid whiz, that shit is different.
He ducking the smoke.
My memory, I'm not even trying to play with no Pinochle. I can't.
They try to save you from yourself.
Yes.